So hello guys and welcome back to 1Tap episode 2. So ano ba to? Reloaded version ba to? Second clip. Ano ba matawag natin dito? Pero alam mo,
Tap episode 2 part 2.
Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. Second clip goes for the 1Tap again. But hey, first things first, my name is Daks.
And my name is Vyminal.
Ay, eto na Vim, we are back in action. The typhoon cannot stop us now. And first things first, all our thoughts and prayers for every single one in the country, especially those affected by it. Nakita natin nga na everyone is really trying to do their part, especially social media. So big kudos to all of you. Pero syempre, we still gotta keep the ball rolling. Life goes on. We gotta get back into the action. And it's time to pick up from where we left off here sa 1Tap. It was an amazing Wednesday night before not only the power but also the internet cutting out for pretty much everyone because of the typhoon. When we saw two solid semifinals, Bim, na pareho sila nag-overtime, boss.
I mean, we had some pretty lengthy games, some pretty intense matchups. Tapos talagang pinapakita dito sa local Valorant scene na tumataas yung level of competition. Everyone's evolving as a team. Everyone's becoming more solid. We see roster changes. We see role swaps and everything like that. It's crazy. And I love it.
And you know what's crazy? Well, we have gotten a bit of a change here as there is a new logo down below. So guys, yung minamahal yung mga tito, TMT getting picked up by, well, one of the most illustrious FPS computer orgs in the country, which is named ArkAngel. So, sabi natin, isipin mo, PUBG, CS, no, we are here in Valorant, and this is the first time I believe that TMT is playing under the banner, and it will be an amazing showcase against Subversive, who's found a piece there. And look at this, Vyminal.
Okay, we're in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, may I do the honors, Daks?
Okay, guys.
Okay, so ArkAngel, feels good to say that, picks Bind, and Subversive picks Ascent. And AA answers back with an Icebox pick. This is the first time anyone's ever picked Icebox in a VPH tournament. So this is pretty cool. And then, of course, Haven and Split follows.
Incredible indeed. Look at that. Icebox actually gonna get played for once. And ArkAngel, sabi nila, mukhang ito na nga, first time, first look, and they are just basically good to go. So we're actually gonna be double checking ano ba the best of 3 or best of
I think we're doing a best of 3, diba? So, itong auto na yan, just think of it as perhaps bans, I guess. So we're playing the first 3 maps, yeah.
Exactly. So may Bind, may Ascent, may Icebox. We'll just double check on that, guys. Pero ano ang tanong ko talaga, Mr. Vim, saan tayo sure prize pool natin, diba? So magkano ang nanalo ng ating champion dito? At magkano ang second place?
I do believe the champion gets 12,000 pesos, right? And the second and third?
Second is 6K and third gets 2K. At ang third placer natin ay, ano ba yun? It was Team Chimera actually beating down DFT Revitalized there. But now it's a battle for the rest of the pot pool. 20,000 pesos courtesy of Manila Esports Club. And we are very thankful for them supporting the 1Tap tournaments. Because 1Tap is just a fun experiment dito galing sa Valorant PH. Tipong guys, active kayo sa Discord, diba? Oh, ito, tournament tayo. And we've seen so many good names and so many good games from this run alone.
Kaya meron tayong basically team debut of ArkAngel. So nakakatuwa that this concept that started off as pretty much an inside joke na parang tara pa Discord tournament kaya tayo na walang announcement, walang kahit ano. May sasali kaya. And then of course we have these prestigious teams and very talented players, and of course all you fans out there watching, fans of Subversive, fans of TMT, fans of the local Valorant PH scene, shout out sa inyo mga kaibigan.
Yeah, exactly. And big shout outs to everyone tuning on in. It's late nights already, but what a great way to end the weekend with some 1Tap action. At mukha nga talaga as we are going to be getting into Bind first and foremost. I'm already wanting a map 3 here, Vim. I just want it to happen. Kung we are going to be seeing Icebox picked up, I have to see it get played.
I have to see it. Like, okay, these guys know how to play the map. Like a lot of people, like especially in matchmaking, doesn't matter what elo you are. A lot of people complain about Icebox, and a lot of people still don't know how to play it. It's just a sad reality. But of course, you know, these pro teams, they have been practicing. Okay, magulat may mga lineup na kung ano sa Icebox, and it's nighttime that we see it in a tournament because you know, it's been out for a while, guys. And if you've been avoiding Icebox like I have, you shouldn't, and you should actually play it because I'm pretty sure it's a good map. It's just we have to get our heads around it.
And I'm trying to get our heads around is we are looking to confirm first and foremost our map pool. Kasi I won't only say that only a Madman team would actually pick up Icebox for map number 3. At kung ano ka man kaya yun, I'm getting some reports here and there. So we'll be making sure that third map is actually confirmed. Pero confirm naman natin na ang unang map natin dito ay magiging Bind. So don't worry about that. We'll see how far we can go here in this best of 3. And there you go. So that Bind gonna be there. Ascent, and apparently it's Haven.
Okay.
Come on, guys.
It's a prank, bro. It's a prank. Okay. Okay, so again, quickly running through the maps as we have confirmation. ArkAngel picks Bind, Subversive picks Ascent, and then Haven ang ating third map if we go to game 3. Right? It's a prank.
I'm kind of sad now. I was just like, I was actually expecting it. Tapos isipin mo, bagong pick-up kayong squad. Tapos pipiliin yung pinaka-bagong map. Okay yun, di ba? Okay, isa na yun.
Some teams have been practicing Icebox. I mean, totoo pa rin yung sinabi ko. Di ba? So,
yeah. I mean, you have to come to that point. At the end of the month, Icebox is going to be played in all official tournaments here and there. So I wouldn't be surprised for community tournaments to follow suit. And the earlier you know how to play the map, then you already know that it is going to be a good one. But I gotta say here between ArkAngel as well as Subversive, it really feels like with the demise of one team, they have really gotten some good parts for others. Kasi kita natin dito sa ArkAngel, Josh S. Hopping on in there alongside Kaka. In the meantime, para sa Subversive, it's Humi there coming in from the ashes of the, well, former VVV squad gem. But for now, I'm looking at the rosters that are going to be playing. And I believe it is Nasmi, Josh S, PB, Johan, and Carl versus CMS Foods, Foon, Young Pork, and Humi for our set so far. So kita-kita nga talaga yung nakita natin na when one team just doesn't work out, maybe those members can work even better. And right now, ArkAngel and Subversive reaping the rewards and getting it on in the grand finals.
Yeah, mismo. Kasi, you know, and especially in the pro scene, everyone, each of these players are very, very talented individually, yeah? But, of course, their team chemistry and synergy with one another matters more. So these things happen a lot in the pro scene, apparently. And of course, if you guys are confused, Foon is actually Joko, former Ajin before.
Yeah, so it really goes to show that these teams, they make their first teams and they're like, it doesn't work. Sige, hanap tayong bagong team. And eventually, you'll find the pieces of the puzzle that you've been looking for. At yun talaga yung naging kwento ng Subversive, no? We saw them as Team EXE, but they always felt like they were missing a piece of their pie. And maybe Humi is that right choice because it really allowed them to make it all the way to the grand finals, really tearing apart there in the lower side of the bracket. And well, Subversive, we've known that this team has always been strong, but they sometimes fall short. Parang they're at the ledge and they're trying to grab it, pero kumukulang sila ng isang step. But hey, we are going to be able to check out our agent selections in just a bit. Our map is Bind, and there you go. Subversive going to be on the defense. It's ArkAngel on the attack. And what do you expect here, Mr. Vim, from these two rosters?
Double intel combination, quite obviously. Although actually Foods might be on the Killjoy as opposed to the Cypher, but we'll see. For now, though, we have CMS on his Sova. We got Foon or Joko on his Jet. Young Pork on the Omen. Now for ArkAngel side, we got Josh S on the Rays, Nasmi on Cypher, and Carl on Sova. I think Johan's going to be on Omen, yeah?
Yes, sir. And there you go. So bago lang to sa mga ating patch, and it's good to see really the steps being taken by Valorant to make the observer system a better place. Nakita ko nga sa patch notes, Vim, meron na yung tipong you can modify exactly the state of the game that you need, which is perfect for all of the. So nakita ko sa patch notes. Basically, what it does, it lets you make sure that you put this round score. You can put what the stats are for the people, how much money they have. It's basically a complete modifier. So if anything bad happens, you can go back to the save state in a way of what you actually did. So I haven't really tried it out yet. Nabasa ko lang sa patch notes. But hey, having something like that really will be so helpful, especially sa mga setup natin dito online. Alam natin minsan yung internet nagiging iffy no matter what because of the weather and stuff like that. And it's such a godsend if that really works out well. And hopefully we don't need to use it anytime soon. But hey, at least now we have a backup plan if ever anything goes wrong. But right now, it's time for us to get into the game. Bind is the place to be, and it's also time for our matchup. I'm very excited for this game because, hey, it has been how many days in the making? So Wednesday.
Well, it was supposed to be, Wednesday, right? And then we were thinking about making it on a Friday, but then, bad things happened all around the country. And again, our thoughts and prayers go out to all those who are affected. But now it's time to go back. So it's been what? 4 or 5 days in the making. Yeah,
4 days. And it was actually a fun one. Like, long story short, guys, we were trying to push through with it, but it was just impossible no matter what. Internet and power outages here and there, not only from the player side, but also from production side. So nawala lahat nung dreams na matutuloy doon. But hey, sometimes it really feels like it's a godsend here, because now we are gonna see the new look TMT be ArkAngel. Same roster though. Palit lang sila pangalan, guys. So this is the TMT roster that you know and love, ready to go and be good for the action. Subversive, in the meantime, as we said before, having Humi in the roster really changes it up. And this is going to be interesting because now ArkAngel and Subversive have a bit of a handle of each other because of the history of the players involved.
And of course, very interestingly, again, with these new roster changes, role swaps happen. Humi now on the duelist role on the Rays. Previously in his celebrated career here in the local Valorant circuit, he typically went for a Sova or perhaps a Sentinel or controller type role. So they have been experimenting with different role swaps here.
Exactly. And hey, sometimes you just need to change it up to get a better composition. We see it from many, many teams na parang tipong you see a copy paste of a certain player and they're not even playing that agent anymore. It's like, okay, sige, ito na pala yun. So shout out to the Camira there. But hey, it really goes to show na it's all about experimentation and versatility dito sa Valorant. When we look at these guys, when they can find their roles, when they can fit all the pieces of the puzzle together, it gets better and better. And the thing about Subversive especially is this is a team that knows how to basically change things up, especially CMS. But for now, as we are going to get into the game, it's interesting that I don't see a gun on the... Do not see a gun? As Foods,
I do not see a gun.
Where's the gun? Young Park, though, he will see two. Johan, in the meantime, will get a refrag there. Foods now going to get a takedown as well. And Subversive with the 4-2 advantage. Gunless here, as Humi going to be calling all around to get in the rotation. And Carl takes care of Food there as well.
Now it looks like this is going to be a complete mirror matchup, as I've noticed in terms of agent picks, but it's now going to be a 3v2, and looks like Carl is at a sliver of HP, guys.
Yeah, we'll see if Carl can actually survive here. Food's gonna be looking on around, and it's so disorienting.
It actually is. Like, it's such a huge deal not seeing the gun.
Okay. Like, in all honesty, when I was a kid, I used to play TF2 a lot, and I do play gunless because it allows you to see a lot of the screen. But for a game like this, I really feel that you need that gun out and about. So we'll see what's up with today, as it is still gonna be ArkAngel trying to push and rotate around. Shower right now for our Rays. Still Foods, though, waiting it out. And you guys, what's your opinion? Do you think it's better without the gun? Do you think it's disorienting this way? Let us know your thoughts, because I really want to know what you feel right now. And don't forget to vote who's going to be able to win. Is it hashtag AA win or hashtag Subversive win? As Foods catch out Josh S, and CMS will wrap it up on the defense with a kill on Carl.
Yeah, don't you just hate it when you jump out of hookah and then someone's off at elbow to basically catch you as you're about to land? It's just a quick first round for SVR. But again, going back to that gunless topic, Daks, it's kind of like aim lab, wherein I feel like I'm more accurate or faster without seeing the gun obstructing my view. But generally, of course, when you're observing game, it's really disorienting here. Should be able to have it fixed up in just a little bit, guys. So please bear with us.
Oh, I want that though. Like, if it's an option, I'm not sure. Oh, there you go. I think
there we go. Beautiful.
Okay, guys. So
let's go.
So real talk, is that actually allowed in game? Because I would play that way. When I mentioned, guys, when I was a kid, I used to play that way, and it allows you to see a lot of screen. Like, I mean, I'll turn on Valorant later on, but right now, let's turn it up to 11, as we are going to be getting back into the game. Subversive right now with the 1-0 lead. So apparently, it was a spectator bug on our side, and we have fixed it up for you guys to see the arms, see the models, and we'll be back into action. But mukhang Subversive buying the guns for the second round, Vim.
Yeah, Food's going to be on that Phantom. Everyone's going to be buying up, except for Humi seems to be sticking with the Ghost right there. And of course, ArkAngel will be on that full save.
Yeah, ArkAngel gonna be looking to keep it up. PBD though, frenzy in hand, and for the time being, it is gonna be ArkAngel looking to push on around. onto A short, onto A main. Nasmi gonna be on the right-hand side. Ayan na naman though, we do see one waiting it out, and Nasmi gonna be looking to push it over, but Young Pork and Foods with the first kills that they need. Subversive right now, just going ham, getting 3 so far. PB though gets close onto Humi. Baka mapitas nga dito ang Jet, pero yan na si Foods na naman. And from the backside, PBD will take it. Subversive now with a 2-0 lead.
Definitely, if you have that gun advantage, a huge gun advantage coming in the second round, you can afford to go aggressive, especially double peeking that shower angle. But we're seeing a sort of different type of SVR playstyle that we're used to seeing here. Very, very aggressive defense so far. But they are capable of switching it up depending on the enemy playstyle. So let's see if they can actually sustain their aggression here.
Yeah, this is the time for ArkAngel to actually go for the comeback at mukhang B-side naman sila dito mga abigan. They are going to try to push this onto the hookah, maybe onto long as well, and the dart already to get that intel. Initial dart so important here, Vim, and getting that pulse really allows you to rotate accordingly. Pero mukhang ArkAngel already with 2 kills on the row, and they just clear out B-side pretty cleanly, but CMS waiting in the garden. He gets one more PBD on the board, and ArkAngel just really landing here on B-side.
They're tearing it up. Execute MB. Spike has been planted, not a lot of resistance there, and again the initial arrow very, very important, as you said, Daks. Very powerful in a map like mine. Actually, Sova I think is probably one of the most impactful agents in any team composition in just about any map, except maybe Split, which is debatable.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to play Sova on Split, but as you mentioned, having the recons, having the shock dart, so important there. But here we go again. ArkAngel clean up at mukhang nakuha nga nila yung third round turnaround dyan. Sak na push lang sa B side, and it was enough to get those kills.
They might be setting up for another B execute here. Looks like perhaps a B split or a default blocking will be in order for the side of ArkAngel.
Yeah, let's see if ArkAngel can actually keep it up more and more though. And this is their time to really shine. Can they get more done with their scoreline here, Vim? Kasi mukhang Subversive, they got the first 2 rounds. ArkAngel comes on back. And kita talaga natin, this can really be a close game from a start like this.
Yeah. See, however, how the 4th round turns out. Again, if the team that wins the first couple of rounds doesn't really fully upgrade onto round number 3, you can really expect a 3rd round turnaround. So not really a surprising outcome there, but perhaps this next round will be indicative of how the rest of the match will play out.
And we'll find out if this can actually be ArkAngel's time to shine, or will Subversive be able to get the buys on and be a-okay here. As we said though, this has been days in the making. At buti na lang na we are just going to be getting back into the action here. Kasi parang ilang beses na natin talaga iniintay itong match na to. It's been pretty hyped up to see how TMT and Subversive would actually duel with each other. And dito lang makita sa 1Tap that this matchup really leads to the grand finals. As we've seen before though, Subversive going to be led by Foods there. He's always on that Sentinel and so scary to play around every single site he stays on.
Mukhang ina-anticipate nila na heavy B execute ang ArkAngel dito, and nag-force stack ang SVR sa B side. Let's see if they can actually stop the push. They are on half buys, I believe.
Sheriff's going to be in hand here for Young Pork, but Carl still with the vandal there. Gets that takedown. Humi also with the judge, but not talaga na execute. And now ArkAngel looking to push onto the hookah itself. Sova going to be into the front line. We see the garden hole again here from the side of the first step. And CMS, the lone survivor, will fall to the hand of Johan. ArkAngel not going to fall for it. Nice strike, Foods. Ayan na naman, stopping up. He's on site. He can get the kill. But ArkAngel making it look easy here on B. And 2-2 now, our score.
Despite that really good anticipation by SVR, still just got mowed down by ArkAngel. Beautiful, beautiful take there. See if they can sustain their momentum coming in here. Looks like they are going to go for that 3-2 split. 3 on B and 2 on A for the side of Subversive. And here on a map like mine, typically B is a bit harder to retake, so it is a very smart decision to heavy stack on B and leave your Sentinel on A.
Exactly. You have seen that the B side has been stacked up more and more often these days, especially into the later parts of the game. For now, though, it's just respect right now being given by Subversive onto ArkAngel. Pansin nga nila na pag push dito ang ArkAngel to B side, madali lang eh. Kahit yung Garden natin try nila taguan, patay pa rin sila. And right now, it's gonna be Subversive changing it up. They're playing in the showers instead. The Omen holding the entrance, the Cypher waiting it out in behind, and it's up to Foods to give that intel.
Camera taken out.
They have had a lot of success taking control of showers, and once you have that info that nobody's on showers, you know everyone's in A short. It's easier to sort of retake or prevent the spike from being planted there.
Fudzo and Nasmi with one apiece, and here we go. ArkAngel trying to really clean up the shower so far. For Youngpork still surviving. Hunter's Fury right now being tossed on over, and Subversive trying to cover as much as they can. CMS really lining it up, but Johan with the kill onto Humi instead. Ang Omen natin palapit na palapit. Pasok muna siya sa lamps though. At Falling Stova naman naghahawak ng spite. At si Card makakapitas. Goodbye na lang kay Youngpork Chan. 2v2. High grad though being taken here by the side of Subversive.
That was a critical kill from Carl, but this is a beautiful recon from CMS as he takes down Johan.
And CMS, what a pick up there, but Carl backing on the way! And CMS too busy lining it up. At kahit bounce-bounce yung mga darts dyan, di pa rin makakapitas kasi si Carl makakapatayan muna dito. 1v1 though, Fool can be into the front line, and Carl will do it here. 3 na row para sa ating Sova. Sakto lang ang tago niya at ArkAngel. They take the lead here, 3-2 now.
Well played by Carl right there. And you really have to have that restraint when you're trying to defend post plan. You're going for that clutch, and that anticipation from the shock dart from CMS, really well evaded by Carl there. And he did have Hunter's Fury. So really, Foon was at a huge disadvantage coming into that 1v1 situation. That was really, really tough. Well played by ArkAngel. They're now on a 3-round win streak. Very impressive so far.
You know what's impressive though, that ArkAngel picking up such a good roster in PMP. We've seen their accomplishments before, multiple championship, multiple runner-up spots, and in all honesty, being the first team to ever knock out Bren in a tournament itself. So kitang-kita talaga, sakto lang ang AA squad na to. For si Youngpork, sakto lang ang tama dyan. Omen with the first pick off. There we go with the flag from Subversive, and they love doing this, choking out their opponent, but Nasby trying to hold, gets rid of Foon. Johan right now the push, but CMS does get the tap there, and Josh is flipping it up. Here comes BBD with 2 for si Youngpork rin makapitas. At ito na, Vandal in hand. He can actually try and make this happen, as there's the plant from ArkAngel. ArkAngel though, will be looking to do even more. And Mr. Vim, we are going to be seeing Josh S staying in the container. I can tell, but Nasty holding it on as much as possible. The Omen on the high ground still. Tingnan natin kung paano nga gagawin ni Youngpork to. Kanina naka-entry na siya dito sa may market with those taps. Josh is in the meantime coming close. And there we go inside the smoke. Youngpork gets rid of the raise, but Nasty just making it a 2v1 that he cannot handle. At ArkAngel pa rin panalo dito sa B-side.
It's a valiant effort by Youngpork. But at a 2v1 situation with a post-plant crossfire, there's very little you can do, especially when you have those cyber cages. Just a very unfortunate situation to be in. Overall, though, Youngpork looking like he's having a really good game thus far. Top fragging on the scoreboard.
Youngpork doing so much. Like, we've seen him really do wonders with whatever gun he has, especially that Sheriff. And in a round like that, he did the damage. This time though, can they get the win? Kasi ArkAngel, nakikita na natin na ang momentum ay nasa kanila. Kanina pa sila nakakakuha ng points at kanina pa sila nakaka-rotate sa B site na maayos para lang maput yung spike down. 1 time on A, 3 times on B. You already know how the odds are working here for ArkAngel. And they're going back to A to really duel with the best of the best inside the shower as Youngpork catches out Nasby there.
Looks like a spike plant will be planted for the open here. But ult economy in favor of ArkAngel. Johan takes down Humi. Meron pa silang Showstopper, meron pa silang Hunter's Fury. They can chill out and basically wait for, you know, post-plant defense here.
Oh, but Josh has to kill on the Foon. But there you go. Chill out time becomes a release because Carl will make the Hunter's Fury gets to, and Josh will wrap it up. Oh my god, indeed. Well played into ArkAngel, and they're using the resources they have so very well. And Carl top frag on 8-3.
Grabe talaga yung Hunter's Fury na yun by Carl. A quick double kill, flawless victory for ArkAngel in that previous round. Pero ngayon, may Blade Storm sila, meron silang Showstopper pa rin. Likewise for the side of Subversive, this could be perhaps best used in this half-buy scenario. but that remains to be seen.
Subversive, they can make miracles out of anything. And this time, they might make a meal out of ArkAngel if they play their cards right. Kasi si Humi, judge in hand, by the hookah. But Josh S! Sabi niya, walang kwenta yung Bladestorm at yung Judge Jan. Foods over the kill onto Josh S in response. But the damage has been done. ArkAngel getting an opening there. And it's up to Foods to try and get the better gun here. Gets the Judge instead. Johan with the kill onto Young Pork as well. At mukhang kahit saan, nag-set up ng ArkAngel, kayang-kaya na makapush sa site.
Minsan sobrang gamble talaga yung dry peak na ganun. Pero if you anticipate na naka-low buy yung kalaban mo, then a dry peak like that can pay off. And it did pay off for ArkAngel in that one. So here.
Johan and Carl wrap it up. And from seeing here from ArkAngel is as soon as they got their guns, they were just good to go in this game. And we see this a lot from many teams na parang hirap sila sa pistol round, hirap sila pag lugi sila. Pero pag may baril na sila, kayang-kaya nila pumalag. And from now, Subversive hasn't really been able to adjust for a win because we see Young Pork and Foods doing all they can. But it seems like CMS, and especially Humi and Food, the two duelists, not really having the best game so far.
Yeah, they're being completely shut down, which is pretty interesting to see. It's just that Josh S and Carl just absolutely relentless as a tandem. Just getting a lot of info with those robots of theirs.
There's the rise of the machines here and Call the Terminator, but in all honesty, it's for Subversive right now. It's all about them stepping up. Kaya ba ng mga dalawang duelists to play their role and to just get the kills that they need? But Foods, he is still one of the best sentinels really in the game. He catches out Nasmi there, but Johan now with the punish. CMS looking to go for the refrag, pero mukhang wala pang nagbabantay doon na naman. PBD though with the spam. Nasa likod lang ng container, nasa loob lang actually si Humi. At mukhang napapahintay nga dito ang ArkAngel dahil sa setup ng Subversive.
Drone out, does get info that there's one on elbow, and they do know that Humi is over there backside.
Carl with the kill onto Food. Here comes PBD with the dash on in, and seems like ArkAngel trying to move around the map accordingly. Pero habang ngayon si Young Pork, tamang lurk lang huli si Josh as PBD with the kill onto Humi. CMS still there, and suddenly it's 2v2 in a complete mirror with the spike going over to B side.
Ang ganda rin ginawa ni PBD to basically open up the site. I've seen a lot of Jets do that.
Spike planted.
But before I talk about that, once again, CMS will be trying to go for the retake here with Young Pork over there at Hoka. Gets taken out by Johan though. It's all up to Young Pork.
What a push from the Omen, and as you said, Young Pork, it's time to see if he is going to be turned into meat, or will he be able to survive to squeal even more. Our Omen right now waiting it out. Carlo inside the smoke playing into the garden, and there's the TP. He says, okay, no man is an island, but the islands I'm making are the smokes. Habang ngayon though, Young Pork doesn't really see anything. Is it time for him to push? Johan waiting for the paranoia. At tamang double peek lang dito para sa ArkAngel. There's the tap already. There's the blind. And Young Pork trying to spam it down for it. Johan will still win that one. When you can see your opponent, you can get that kill. And ArkAngel up by 5 as of the moment.
ArkAngel looking real hot right now, definitely. And I'd like to point out again what PBD did to open up B-side for that execution. When you launch that cloud smoke on top of the tin can and then dash right into it, before your opponent can actually see where you actually are, it's sort of like a nigh instant or simultaneous action. It's one of the things in the toolbox of a Jet player that I favor very much. It's something that I think is a huge game changer in terms of executing B-side on Jet.
Yeah, you know, I wish that there was just a bit of a slash there with the Jet dash of the Jet. A dash and slash could have been cool, but inside the smoke is going to be the way to go. And Young Pork with the stinger catching out PBD. Gulat na lang dyan ng ArkAngel. Pinas kagad ng isa. Naghihintay do ang ating Jet dun sa kanan. And it's up to Food to really reel it back. But no, he's having a day to forget so far. And Josh S will make it even worse. CMS zoned out. Subversive trying to wait for everyone else. First si Josh S. Walang intay-intay dyan. Ang raise natin talaga. He's worming his way into the spawn. And ArkAngel just really controlling this game.
They will be found out over here, so they could choose to hunt them down.
Rambo and Josh S again looking nigh unstoppable. He really has wormed his way in here. And now Humi though close enough. Carl will get taken down, but Josh S still on the board. And for now, ArkAngel, parang sinapakita nila sa atin dito, Vim, that they will not be spoiled their debut as ArkAngel. And in all honesty, they're really making up such a big duelist difference right now. Humi and Poon do need to set up kasi kitang-kita natin na Subversive, they're a complete package, but right now the gears are sputtering on the duelist side.
yung nakikita natin kasi ngayon na laban, Daks, napakaganda ng kwento rin na, no? You have SVR who's had a roster change, and then of course you have TMT na naging ArkAngel ngayon, representing ArkAngel, and they've been looking pretty much on fire in their recent tournament runs. So this is them in their top form, it seems.
It's time to see who can actually outmuscle the other one. Subversive, of course, looking to prove that this is the roster they want to go with. ArkAngel, in the meantime, looking to prove that the spawn's just like, oy, tamang pickup lang yan, guys. And hey, it's pickup yet again onto A. We'll see how this push is going to work on the main side. Mundo inside the last bird. Marami pa rin masyadong tao. PBD will still win that one out. Josh is also clearing out the shower entrance, but we do have Young Pork there. And here comes Foods as well, but Nasty just waiting it out by the TP. He gets 2. CMS just letting the operator rip. Pero 4v2 pa rin. Kahit nag-gamble na ang Subversive dito with an op, it's still not enough to make the difference so far. And moving closer, but Josh S in position.
What an off angle from Josh S right there. You would expect him to be on hard right here. CMS needs to save that operator, man.
CMS, it's time to get the hell out of Dodge. It's time to get the hell out of there, but a perfect paranoia place. And already, ArkAngel on the hunt. Johan TPing in front of the ultimate. CMS could not get the shots. And ArkAngel looking absolutely ill here. 9-2 as we get into the last round of their attack.
It's pretty unstoppable so far. And, of course, SVR is going to be on that low buy here.
It's so difficult right now for Subversive. Even with the streak money, they cannot get the buys that they need. At kailangan talaga ng confidence ngayon ni Foon at ni Humi. Kanina pa sila nahihirapan, kanina pa sila na-outduel. At ang panahon lang para maka-unlad sila dito sa play nila talaga would be them getting the kills that they need. So we'll see if Foon can actually do it here and now. Seems like it is going to be the Rays also pushing from the short, but for the time being, ArkAngel reading it so well, and they're stacked on A main this time.
Looks like they are going to be muscling through A short with only 2 on site left to defend. You got to chill out and wait for retake, it seems, but Young Pork gets taken down by Nasmi.
Josh is also on the board. Young Pork already getting one besides all of that. But here we go. Showstopper time from Humi. Time for the flights. Go in the air. Goes for the shot. And the Nova will go down. He even gets a Phantom here as Foon covers the ground. At mga ito na nga, Subversive getting the confidence that they need to play and outmuscle the opponent. But Johan is in a really good position there. Foon trying to dash on away. He gets away in time though. And suddenly the showers is his safe haven. Smoke though again right in front of him. 1 HP para kay Josh S. And ArkAngel already taking some really good positions again here of him as Foon will have to do with Johan, and Johan, he just does not stop. 14-5 for him, 14-7 for Josh S, and ArkAngel up by 8 as we go into next half.
Very rough first half for SVR. AA looking very unstoppable. Let's see how they do on defense. You know, sometimes certain teams can be sort of kryptonite to certain teams on attacker defense. I mean, that's just how it works. Let's see if SVR can bounce back. We've seen some crazy comebacks before in the local circuit, so don't count them out yet, guys.
Absolutely, and you can always count on Humi and Foon to actually step it up when need be. Right now, though, they are struggling right now to get the tempo, but hey, it can still be a possibility. But I'm looking at our omens right now. Both Young Pork and Johan have been doing some really, really good jobs with their position. And if you want to watch a duel, it has to be them. Tingnan natin nga kung ano kayang pwesto makita natin dito as Humi decides to go for the push instead. Does get shouted out though by the dart. There's the shots, and he will still fall. Johan, he is just saying, no, Omen is the one who can get all those kills. Young Pork also doing the same thing, giving the same statements, and it's a 1-for-1 trade between our two teams.
Ang napakaganda ng ginagawa kasi ng TMT ArkAngel dito. They're playing double peeking there and playing for trades in very, very quick succession. Kaya parang parating na-overwhelmed pag mag-isa ka na mag-pick eh.
And then suddenly Subversive is down to 2 members. It really goes to show that for ArkAngel, they're firing on all cylinders, but Foods, he is just so defensive no matter what. Whatever position they're stuck in, Foods can get a kill.
Health advantage, pretty much in their favor still, despite it being a 3v2 situation. Spike will be rotating through tunnels now. Looks like they might be going for A here.
Now it's time to move on around. Foods leading CMS for the time being. And for the time being as well, it is going to be our Cypher waiting it
30
out
seconds
on
left.
B-side. Set up muna dyan though ng tripwire. Go for the camera placement as well. Mukhang iniisip na yung Cypher natin sa defense na okay, it's time to maybe move over to B-side. But Subversive will say, hello, we are here. And Nasmi will go down. The rotate is coming on in again. Stova and Sova. And on the other side, we have Cypher and Omen looking to go for that tool there. And it is going to be a time for Carl to get over to the high ground. Johan here on the left. But look at this. Subversive sticking by the APC for now.
It's like it's going to be a battle of the info agents to see, you know, napaka-crucial ang recon dito ni Carl to go for that read. Johan takes on CMS though. Foods is going to be left all alone in a 1v2 situation, 31 HP.
Oh, he gets the shot onto Carl, but Johan is still there. And again, kanina pa si Johan, and he has really been stepping up like crazy.
Oh my gosh.
17 to 5. That's a score to remember. And you can't even say that it's a battle of the Omens right now because both of these Omens are doing so well. But hey, Johan has been doing a little bit extra coming into this one.
And you can't count out the rest of ArkAngel as well. All of them, you know, save for Nasmi, is in positive KD. And when you know, the other team can say the same. It's just complete opposite story, and you can see it in the scoreline here. They've been doing an absolutely excellent job and just playing together, just showcasing their synergy and chemistry as a team.
And for now, we'll see if Fumi can actually lead the battle with the judge this time. Mukhang plano dito ng Subversive will be going for that force fight. And here's the fight yet again. Jet though taking too much damage. And PBD already going down. Gets a Spectre in hand as well, so Fumi's changing it up for get some range. And Nasmi now all alone by the triple box. Can he actually survive? Goes for the Cypher Cage and the peak. But here comes Subversive creeping closer and closer.
So Nasmi will be behind default here. Quick TP is in order. A little bait and switch right there. Carl, though, denies Foon on that entry.
ArkAngel doing it again. Get rid of the duelist to start things off. And there you go. Both Subversive going down. But Foods creeps closer yet again. 3v2 right now. Johan trying to hold with the Phantom. And even if he has a gun advantage, there is still firepower on the side of Subversive. Foods decides, okay, I might need to blast here because I can't see past the blind. But hey, he gets close enough to get that kill. 3v1 ngayon. Nasty playing onto the hookah. And can use the high ground here. First pick off onto Young Pork as everyone else creeping closer and closer.
Nasmi, 2v1. This is going to be a really tall order with 75 HP left on the board.
Nasmi sticks on the right side though, and our Cypher hugging the wall so far. CMS though with the kill, and Subversive will finally get a round back. It was absolute bleeding from them, and look at that scoreline. 11 rounds in a row, including the one from the first half, goes to show that ArkAngel looking to dominate this game, but Subversive, they break that streak with the force buy, and now ArkAngel is the one who has to play the eco instead.
Much needed breather for Subversive, and you know damn well, guys, that SVR doesn't give up, and they will play their hearts out until the match is over. So again, don't count them out yet. Looks like Johan and PBD will be on the shorties. See if they can actually get a couple sneaky kills.
ArkAngel looking to hold close though. Josh S, he has no fear. Kanina pa siya sobrang confident sa mga setup niya at pwesto niya. Pero mukhang si Humi sabi niya, tama na yan sa hookah. Goes for the paint shells there instead and tries to clear that, but ArkAngel refusing to budge. And you can really see how aggressive and confident this team is on the defense. But Foods will punish Johan there. Josh is over the kill on the Humi. And Nasty getting closer and closer. But Food this time, with that gun advantage, does get the 2k that he needs. PPD rotating from A. But this is Subversive setting up on B side already, and with a shorty in hand, it's unlikely for PBD to make it happen.
Highly improbable in a 4v1 with a shorty and a dream. So it looks like this is a much needed shift in momentum for the side of SVR.
PBD, he wants to call people into the smoke, but there's the dash! And suddenly he cannot find anyone. So awkward here for PBD. He's getting wall back from the other side. And Boone will get 3, finally getting better on the board. Subversive, even though they have that gun advantage, they need that, especially for the duelist. Confidence is key to play the duelist role, and Humi and Foon need boxes of it for this game.
Now, gun discrepancy will not be a thing, as everyone is going to be on rifle buys here. Of course, Johan with that teleport. See if he can actually put it to good use here on attack. You know, perhaps a little bait and switch will be in order.
from the shadow is going to be so key here for Johan to get either intel or the surprise. But in a case like this, it is going to be CMS trying to mow down that boom bot, and already Josh S going to be there waiting. So double stack muna dito sa tower. Si Humi naman, pasok lang dyan. Oy, si Foon mabubuhay dito with so little HP. And you can really see that ArkAngel has Foon's number. No matter where he dashes, he will get taken down. Johan getting rid of the 2 duelists again after PBD falls on the other side. And Subversive now down 2-3. Can they make it happen? As ArkAngel gets another pick off. Josh is on the board. CMS with the refrag. But Mahu's waiting against Johan with a 3K so far. And CMS trying to spam down the high ground. Johan gets caught, but now it's all up to the Sova.
As soon as he launches that recon, he will be able to find out that he does have enough time to plant the spike. Does have information that Carl is over there on Heaven.
I have the spike.
He might go for the fake here.
He does get the spike though. And it's maybe a rotate, as you said. But look who's covering in behind. Nasby already creeping closer and closer. Kitang-kita talaga ng ArkAngel that this might be a forced situation here for their opponent. Kaya ba ni CMS ituloy ito sa A side? Kasi yun na nga yung Cypher nag-iintay para sa rotate. Tama lang nung ginagawa ng ArkAngel Gito. They're really choking down the map. And CMS is forced to play here on A side instead.
Sort of trying to zone him in or perhaps locate where CMS is.
Oh, tries to go for the clear though, and Carl will get that kill. ArkAngel looking nigh unstoppable. It really goes to show when you have that match point, when you get picked up, you already know that this is a team worth mentioning. TMT no more. ArkAngel looking to fly in the skies, and with the lead like this, they are on match point in our first map, and they are gearing up for a champion run if they can make it 2 in a row sa ating map score.
Grabe yung confidence talaga ng ArkAngel Daks. Kasi yung nakikita ko ginagawa nila Johan, nila Josh S, especially pa nag-entry si Humi and Foon. And napakabilis nila mag-entry. Napakaganda ng entry na ginagawa nila sa site. But they do not let them get any sort of map control whatsoever. They're quick to shut them down. And that's what's been working so well for ArkAngel in this defense phase.
And it's incredible to see how ArkAngel has been doing those punishments so far. Ever since we've seen the start of this game, parang pag nag-try mag-aggress ang Subversive, bigla lang sila napipitas, bigla lang sila nahuhuli. At mga si Humi ngayon, magiging mag-set up dito sa main hook naman with Boom. But here we go with a quick lob. Flight, CMS with that Hunter's Fury, and he still catches PBD there as he tries to slowly float on down. Good pick off there from the Soap, but Subversive trying to take that advantage. Humi right now looking around, pero mukhang showstopper nga ang gagamitin dito ng side ng ArkAngel. They let the trip. Carl with so little HP. Foods will get that kill. Josh says no with a wall bang onto Foon. And now we see ArkAngel all stacked up onto the CT side. Can they actually push from elbow, or will they get stuck here, Fim?
I think the only way for them to be able to push out here would be to perhaps use the Cypher Cam and gain a little bit of information.
Yeah, Foods though on the left side, and here comes the cages into play. There's the peak, though. Nasty goes down, but Josh S and Johan still looking high unstoppable. Youngpork now with a refrag on the Omen, 1v1. The Omen looking from the high ground. The Raze getting that defuse, and there we go with the peak, but Josh S still unstoppable again. He finds the angle, he gets that kill, and ArkAngel will soar in on Vine to get the first game.
So proud.
ArkAngel, what a stunning performance, and especially what a huge clutch from Josh S and Johan right there. It was almost basically a 2v4 situation, and you can see the both of them sitting atop the scoreboard very, very comfortably, 23-9. Daks. Johan absolutely on fire today. And it was just unfortunate that the spike was just planted like too deep onto that sort of default position over there, planted for the long. You could actually hide inside the tin can just a tad bit, and Youngport did not have line of sight to be able to prevent that defuse.
Yeah, set up for Garden, but suddenly no one was going to be able to watch from there. And Youngpork, even though he got rid of Johan, it still was the ghost of him haunting him, and Josh S with that kill. And in all honesty, that was just ArkAngel proving a duelist difference there. We know that Humi and Foon can be great players, but just that's a game to forget for them. Unable to get those kills. At kita talaga natin how ArkAngel was punishing the opponent every single time. Mag-dash in o mag-flights yung magiging setup ng Subversive dito. Tapos isa sa dalawa sa kanila mapipitas, or at the very least low HP. Kahit tinatry ni Foon mag-dash inside the smoke, it's still not working out for them. And for now, Subversive, they just need to get back on the drawing board here. They need to figure out what they want to do on the next map, because Ascent is the place to go, and this is their pick for this best of 3.
Let's see if they can turn things around. But again, I'd like to mention earlier that what worked for ArkAngel very well was that they denied a lot of map control from SVR. And SVR, basically, their strat was to make an entry onto site, try to open it up really fast with a flight from Humi, perhaps a dash, a tailwind from Foon. However, they just got punished really, really fast.
It's incredible. And both Omens on both sides doing such a good job. But in the end, Johan just being able to out-muscle even more so. I'd say that, honestly, Young Pork could have done the same thing. Pero kita talaga natin yung numbers advantage. You can't expect your controller to do everything for your team. And even though Young Pork was flexing his muscles, Johan not only had the muscles in the first place, but he also had that moral support cheering him on, going for that bench press, and that he did. Ridiculous stuff there from both elements, but Johan being enabled to do a bit better. And from what we saw as well from Josh S, from PBD, it's just how ridiculous how they went in there. Yung aggression talaga ArkAngel unmatched so far. And the big one, I saw the big issue here is they were unpunished from the angles they were taking.
It was really hard to punish them in itself because they just played together so well. They peaked together, they trade like nigh instantly, and everything was just absolutely on point. They were in sync, and it's just looking like a team that's absolutely on fire.
It is. They've really hit their stride, in all honesty. They've had so many good games at CMT, and now being trusted by the ArkAngel org, you already know na may confidence pa talaga sila dito. Pag na-pick up ka ng big org talaga alam mo na may tiwala sila sa'yo, may tiwala yung mga tao sa'yo ng mga org, may tiwala sa'yo yung mga fans, at kitang-kita talaga na they want the spotlight to be on themselves na, hey guys, this is ArkAngel, we are ArkAngel, and they did an amazing job on their map pick. But now, they're in the home turf of Subversive because we know how cheeky they can play on Ascent.
Let's see. Perhaps I won't be surprised if we'll be seeing perhaps a Killjoy instead of a Cypher here. But perhaps a Sova, undeniably a very important pick over here in Ascent. But let's see if Humi and Foon can actually bounce back and step it up in this upcoming match. That was a very decisive victory for ArkAngel in round 1, but this is going to be game number 2 and in this best of 3 series. So this is not over yet, my friends.
Exactly. There is still a chance here for Subversive, and hey, they can write it off in confidence, say, okay guys, warm up lang yun, sige tara, and ito na, Ascent time. It's time for them to truly shine, and we'll see what they can do. But ArkAngel, with a performance like that, can you write them out? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Even say they're the ones with a huge advantage coming in to whatever map we're playing, because the confidence from this team is really absolutely radiant. You can feel them, diba? Na parang they know all of their shots are gonna hit. They know that kahit lugi sila sa positions, they're just gonna kayang-kaya natin to. And it's just ridiculous how this confidence really emanates from them. Na nafe-feel talaga natin na sabi nila, we can win this. And that's what they always do.
Just go all in. You know, sometimes one of the pitfalls in professional teams or even tournaments or even in ranked games, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you overthink your strategies too much, and all you have to do is play for trades and double peak. Sometimes it works, Sometimes that aggression just works. That raw aim just out muscles the brains,
Absolutely. But hey, the brains here from ArkAngel looking really, really good as well. They keep it simple, but then they're so proactive at taking so many spots. And they don't want to get choked out whatsoever. Kahit kita natin sa Subversive, they want to be cheeky and sneaky, especially if you remember that eco round where they went for a triple stack on Market. Right. It is really telling of how good their minds are in this game. Pero saan sila nawawalan talaga? Doon sa mga bakbakan. And that's a bit of a problem right now for Subversive because they rely on Foon and Humi to do that work. For Foods, we always see him as one of the best sentinels because when he's in comfort zone, he is looking to be nigh unstoppable. But with so many numbers encroaching him, even anyone who's comfy at home will get kicked out, diba? And that's a problem for them. Young Pork having to really do everything. CMS trying to play that flex. And it really feels like it's all up to those duelists to get back in their mojo, back in position to really keep Subversive in this game. Kasi kung hindi, makikita natin ngayon na dun magkukulang ang Subversive, not because of the skill gap, but because every single part of ArkAngel works right now. And they need to make sure the duelists work also.
Yeah, to add to your point, I'm going to have to agree with you there that in this matchup, talagang underdog ang SVR. Because ArkAngel, formerly TMT, of course. They have been a team for a very, very long time. They have a lot of experience under their belt as their current composition. And SVR, as we know, have gone through quite a bit of roster changes in recent months. So, it kind of makes sense that they are the underdog. And, it's up to them. The burden is on their shoulders to try and prove to everybody and step it up right here.
Yeah, like the moments and the point we're trying to make here for the side of Subversive is they're looking for that missing piece. And it looks like Humi has been a good piece for them, but will it actually lead to a championship? Yun yung tanong talaga. At mapapansin nga natin, kung siya na talaga ang magiging part dito ng Subversive, kung siya na talaga ang hinahanap ng Subversive, we're gonna be expecting him and Foon to really step it up. Kasi yun talaga ang nagiging problema ngayon ng side ng Subversive, diba? They just cannot get the entries that they would like because the rest of the game plan is smooth from them, which gives them a chance. But they cannot rely on chances to get this win. They have to rely on their full roster. And here we go again. This is what I want to see. No way, no how getting rid of your duelist there. Keep Foon on that jet. Take time, and you put Humi on a flex role as well. When you look at the side of Subversive, you have two very, very flexible players in CMS and Humi. And it is really going to be a good cornerstone for them to build their composition per map with this. As you mentioned, Food's going to be on the Killjoy. Tingnan natin, ano ba ang lalaro ng ArkAngel dito?
Looks like Nasvi is about to lock in that cipher. They've yet to lock in any of these agents, but really quickly, Foon definitely going to be on that jet. And if there's any duelist out there that's capable of being a solo duelist in a team comp, it's going to be, Foon is going to be one of those guys. It's definitely an interesting team comp for the side of SVR. But Johan will be on the Omen once again. Josh S, this time on the Reyna. I don't know, man. It's just really fun to watch Reynas. Doesn't matter if it's in a pro game or a collegiate league or anything like that. It's just Reyna such a fun agent.
Your agent.
Feast or famine, and right now ArkAngel feeling the feast going on. This is gonna be a very, very confident roster dito sa ArkAngel. Reyna Jet means that you go get those kills, or you get nothing at all on the other side. It's kill or be killed with this kind of comp. Sure, you can say, okay, Cloudburst can help you out here and there, but it really doesn't matter as much as you would like. Ang playstyle dito ng ArkAngel to go fast, go hard, and get those kills. At pansinin nga natin kung paano gagawin ni Josh S at the PPD dito. Kasi looking at Subversive, they have all the utility that they would like. Look at the mixed bag they have here.
Looks like it's going to be utility versus intel / double duelist, diba? For the side of ArkAngel. Ang SVR naman, they're going to be relying a lot on Humi's recons and on CMS to use those flashes and displace enemies when attacking on the site. They know that they are starting on attack, so this could be a very interesting, still a very balanced composition despite them starting on attack.
Yeah, we'll see. ArkAngel defending here. Subversive going to be on the attack. And as you mentioned, we'll find out how this roster will actually work out here with the side of Subversive. We know the Killjoy very, very good on the defensive, but we'll find what kind of positions Foods wants to take on the attacking side. Because you can't leave the turret behind anymore. It's going to be a dog that is leashed rather than just lets free. And here comes Subversive looking to stack on A site. And they will be checking kung paano nga magde-defend si Nasmi dito.
Mukhang mahihirapan yung Killjoy sa anti-flank, no? Because of this patch. Pero, having the turret on site, especially when executing, is a huge, huge factor, especially now in the pistol round, as we'll see.
On in though, and Nasmi gets close. Pool will get taken down, and surprise, Nasmi taking the angle. They 2 get 3, but Humi now on the board. Young Force there, curled over the shock dart, and Johan will clean it up. Heat check. Absolutely on fire there for Nasmi. He will get 3, and Subversive will say, okay, tama na yan, B-side tayo.
Which is absolutely crazy. Again, sulit na sulit yung bilis sa Ghost kung ganun kakalakas tumutok. Tulad ni Nasmi dun sa first round na yun. And despite the turret being planted over there on the A main entrance, very good presence of mind for Johan to smoke that out. And basically, na-cancel yung turret na yun. It was rendered useless. And Nasmi was just able to get a 3K.
cancel talaga. The Twitter account suspended for the turret. But hey, it's time to go at it again. Subversive right now, looking for a different plan. Tama na raw yung A main. They're gonna go for cubby control instead, that they can actually go into the market for mid this time. So choices abound for Subversive, but in terms of armory, in terms of firepower, medyo lugi sila dito kasi classics in hand muna laro. At si Josh S, Marshall nga looking for the one shot, one kill, and TMS, and that's gonna be Gumi both going down to the hands of Josh S.
You don't typically see a Reyna use a Marshall, but you know, hey, if it works, it works. TBD taking down Foon over there in mid. They are out for blood.
Oh my god, PVD flies on in and he just gets that takedown. Sakto lang talaga, ArkAngel playing such an angelic style here on Ascent. And Youngpork now all alone, he gets the kill on the Nasmi! And here we go again. As we mentioned, our Omens have been really picking up this game. Not only Johan, but Youngpork in the side of Subversive. Paranoid for the play. Youngpork right now with the smoke, and he's looking to play the bait and switch, leaves behind the SMG. Classic in hand again, and maybe, just maybe, he can get another pick off, but ArkAngel ain't falling for it so far.
30 seconds left.
Cover going down.
Not much you can do at 12 HP. Gets a shock dart.
You know, sometimes we're looking for electricity, but other times you can take too much of it. And there you go. Another good shock dart para kay Carl Hap. Mukhang kitang-kita niya paano mag-bounce ng mga angles dito sa Ascent. We got one by the Generator nung pinakaunang round, and dito sa may wine. At sakto talaga yung mga lineup dito ng ArkAngel. 2-0 ngayon. And this is now time for Subversive to go for the third round turnaround. But can they do it? That is going to be the question. Or will ArkAngel just dominate even further?
It's like 3 of ArkAngel's agents are going to be on full buys. So they are anticipating that sort of third round turnaround. So let's see if they can actually deny that from happening here. Default blocking and Subversive again. They are playing it a bit slow, perhaps crossing over to Garden or A main. The spike is over there with CMS on A main. Foon needs to get an early pick here.
And there you go. Foon finally gets that pick off, and that's a perfect one onto Johan. Goodbye and good riddance to the Omen. Not many smokes to work with here for the side of ArkAngel, but they can rely on the Cloudburst in a pinch. For Foon feeling confident kasi goodbye na kay Johan dyan. Gonna be looking for the push forward. PBD inside the smoke though, and ArkAngel might get punished here. And there you go, Foon with a second kill. This is what Subversive needs. Step up game para sa ating Jet. At mukhang nasa kanila nga advantage ngayon. At si Nasmi naglaruan yung turret, pero bumabaril pa rin yung turret sa kanya at mapapabalik ang Cypher natin dito kasi palapit na ang Jet.
Flash onto backside. Carl will be left with an Ares to try and defend as Foods takes him down over there on that flank from CT. No, napakaganda ng ginawa ni Foods done. Gets that opening pick, gets that lurk onto mid, just paving the way for the rest of his team to execute onto site. That is the duelist job. Sometimes you don't dash onto site as a Jet. Sometimes you get an early pick and lurk around as a Jet.
I like this a lot better from Foon. He realized the situation that how ArkAngel has been punishing him every single time he would go for the tailwind there. And this time, he gets 3. And he needs this. He needs a round like this, especially this early in the map. Not only does he say, okay, walang partida to, may baril pa dito ang ArkAngel, but also the 3K to really open up this round. Ito ang confidence na kailangan ng Subversive, at ito kailangan na performance nila gaya sa Jet nila. At mukha talaga, this is why you really can rely on Foon on that role, as it is Subversive time to get the point on the board.
Grabe kasi yung firepower capability ni Foon. Individually, though, as a player, grabe yung firepower niya. And if he gets taken out early on in the round, you know, despite him being able to dash on the side, he's sort of opening up the side, sayang yung firepower that he brings to the table. And I think that sort of slower approach and perhaps them changing up the pace here in game number 2 could be the secret sauce here for Subversive to try and turn the series around. Let's see.
Ooh, and if it actually pans out well, I'd love to try that secret sauce out. But for now, it's time to see what ArkAngel can do with the Odin and the Guardian in hand. Pero gusto kong sabihin, guys, parang it just feels so familiar to see that AA Josh S tag. I don't know why. Bakit kaya ganun, Mr. Pim? Pero hey, it's time for Carl to let it rip. PVD though with the first kill. Youngpork goes down, and we now see the Jet getting rid of the Omen again, but this time the teams have been reversed, and ArkAngel with a man advantage.
That wallbang from B-main is simply one of the most annoying things that can happen in a map like Ascent. But it looks like mid control is going to be in order here for Foon. Let's see if he can actually replicate the success he had in the previous round.
Waiting it out. Cloudburst thrown out again. Subversive trying to go for cubby control, but look at the double stack on Garden here from the side of ArkAngel. Smoke into play, and we already know Johan is waiting this out. Good angle onto main. Flashpoint though in order, but here comes the tripwire, and here comes the side of ArkAngel going for the shots. Johan with the kill. What's he do so far? Make that 3! Pull down game so strong at mapipitas si Food sa dulo dyan. Even though we see Subversive going for the crosswalk, apparently it's not ready yet, and they just get thrown over there from ArkAngel.
I mean, what a tripwire right there. Oh my gosh. That was completely stopped the push dead on its tracks. And of course, Johan was right there over there at Garden, just being sneaky as hell with that Phantom. It's one of the reasons why sometimes I prefer the Phantom over the Vandal. You know, he wouldn't have been able to get all those kills in such quick succession if he had that Vandal.
And the fact of the matter is he was close enough to mitigate any damage fall-off, right? And that's what you want to use the Phantom. Mid-range, but on the shorter side, rather than the one-tap potential of the Vandal from any single distance. So, saktong position lang para kay Johan at yun talaga yun. But here we go again. It's time now for Subversive to just force it out on B side. Food now with the Flamestorm, and Carl cannot take it at all. Beautiful headshot. Food now with the flat. Yelpork though will secure that kill. And you can see that Food feeling confident still. Goes for the blades onto the Omen. Food's also with a takedown. And Subversive, they say, let's keep it simple and clean, and they get 3 in response.
They are switching it up in terms of pace here. Sometimes they play well, sometimes they pick it up and rush here. Josh S takes out Food though, but it's all up to Johan. Looks like he will be trying to make it costly for Subversive, but Youngport closes out the round. And sometimes teams do that. You know, meantime, they play it very slow. They play for picks, go for slow rotates, play out the clock. And then the next round, magulat ka na lang. They turn it up to 11 and then go rush a site. And it really catches the opponent off guard. So really well played from Subversive. Very tight match so far, 3-2 in favor of ArkAngel. But this time it looks like AA will be on Broken By here.
Absolutely broken, and this is what Foon wants to do. We can see this guy take control, and it really goes to show na pag nasa comfortable map ka talaga, kitang-kita yung difference dun sa jet mo. They know better on the mobility, they know better in the positions, and we're seeing Foon basically unpunished compared to what we've seen on Bind. He's not getting whittled down by bullets mid-air, he's not getting into Reg HP states, and he's actually getting those kills. So for now, if Subversive can keep this up, and that's the best way to go about it. Pressing Joshes! Talaga walang takot si Foos, mapipitas dyan. Puto with a pick up there. BB now on the inside, Flamestorm ready. And we still see those Subversive trying to spam it down. Can they get the kill? Here comes punish from Youngport. Carlo in the meantime, on the high ground. The Raptors can be in the position here for AA, but Subversive now looking for the 3v1. Mukhang mag-backstab nga si Nasmi ngayon.
You see what I mean? Parang yung ArkAngel, hindi sila natatakot to sort of hold their positions on site as Nasmi gets taken out by Youngport, close out the round 3-3. Parang at that point in time, you know, people would tell, for example, Josh S na, sige, bigay mo muna, you know, wait for us to rotate. Pero, you know, it's just so interesting to see that, you know, their confidence and their ability to hold down the site and get a pick while waiting for their teammates to rotate. It's just, it's pretty amazing.
Exactly. And, you know, Josh S, I've seen this guy play, and he does not want to do that. He's like, guys, kaya ko to, promise. And hey, he got our first kill there. Okay na yun eh. Bucky in hand. It was a broken buy anyway, and it was a broken buy for a reason, because now they can go for the full buy, but that's basically it. If they lose this round, they might not have money for the next. Now we'll go for a full eco if that happens. But Subversive, they still want to get momentum, and now they have to deal with the Owl Drone there. But here comes the lockdown. Subversive really using all the tools they can. Food with the pick off there on the PVD. Johan now with the refrag for a saktong setup lang. Carl already on the one-way trip, but he gets caught out before he can get going. Food's with that pick off. Subversive with the setup, and there they are on B sites.
Yep, that's a lockdown, just giving them just enough time to execute on the side 4v3 situation now for the Subversive. And gusto ko yung pinapakita nila dito ngayon, it's just more default executes. They're not really overthinking their strategies. They're sticking to what works. Humi gonna be on that lurk onto mid, takes down Nasmi.
He has to deal with the Reyna though, and you can already see Josh is out for blood. Good pick off there from the Reyna. Perfect target to keep his Empress in refresh. And this is going to be time for the Lear, but the Nano Storm even better. And Boots and CMS will get the punish. this is what we want to see from Subversive. This is really a lineup that suits them well. All this utility is how they play. Kitang-kita talaga. Ninja moves dito galing sa attacking side natin. And from whenever I see Subversive play, they love to use their utility for good reason. Smokes plus abilities equals a win for them, and now they take the lead.
And this is something we've noticed now from SCV throughout this 1Tap series. Na pag ganito yung team composition nila that relies a lot on utilities, talagang they can maximize the potential of their team comp. They're very, very comfortable in terms of synergizing their abilities and using them in unison and in the right time. And this is what we're seeing right now. If you have a resilient defending team such as ArkAngel here, see Josh S just holding down that sideline. You can't really do that if you have a breach that's going to flash you to oblivion.
Absolutely. Flash and stuns, you already know the show. And guys, it is ArkAngel though with the 1-0 lead in terms of match score. And now they get the 2-0 lead in terms of picks. But CMS will catch out Josh S there. You can see it on the top bar though. But right now we see Nasby punishing foods along the way. And ArkAngel never count these guys out. Sheriffs in hand, they get the pickoffs. Vandal here for Nasby, and seems like ArkAngel keeping it up on this defense.
Like Nasby will be able to make that CMS. You're gonna catch Nasby off guard there.
Oh, I like this from Subversive.
Fight play.
Tingnan mo, biglang nagtipi kagad ang Omen natin dito, ready to go for a setup. And Johan looking for a better gun along the way. 5 HP though for our Omen, Vandal in hand. But he only needs one bullet to connect on the head to get that takedown. At mukhang yung doorway talaga, hindi magtatagal dito. First sakto from the shadows ang pwede from Scout. Seems like the ArkAngel doesn't want to commit this ultimate for this round. And instead, they get the insult, but the Rolling Thunder is there. Does that get a stun? It's buying a lot of time here, Vim. Time really is sticking for ArkAngel, but Young Pork with the kill. CMS there, and a 4K for a breach to wrap it up. Well played the Subversive. They do it again. They infiltrate, they isolate, and they get the win.
I gotta give it to CMS in that previous round, you know, taking down Nasmi over there at A short and then being able to secure A side all by himself. And then getting that spike plant and giving sufficient information to Youngpork to rotate and teleport onto A. That's just really well played from Subversive.
Ridiculous stuff. And it is just impressive to see how Subversive can really use that to their advantage. But you can never count out ArkAngel. That start on that round, getting those initial pickoffs with Sheriff really proves how strong they can be. And in a case like that, Subversive, they gotta be thanking the stars a bit that worked out for them, because anything can go wrong against this ArkAngel squadron.
It feels like AA is sort of being able to adapt to and counterplay the strategy or execution strategy of Subversive here. I mean, that was such a close round in their favor.
That was really clutch there from CMS, and goes to show whatever agent you put that guy on, he can really deliver no matter what. And we can really see our Breach trying to bring up the front with that utility. From ArkAngel right now, waiting it out on B side. Nasa log cubby ang ating Omen. Pero habang ngayon, ito na ang Hunter Fury galing sa side of the Subversive. As he Food, he just runs and guns. Johan goes down. Food also on the board. Youngpork right now looking around. Food with a kill again. And right now, this is the confidence that the Jet is really emanating from the side of Subversive. 4v2 situation though, CMS with the flat. At saktong setup lang dito kay Foods. There's the shots from Humi. He's waiting on the side. Josh is trying to spam it down. But here comes the darts. Here comes the fault line. And AA is isolated and stuck here in the corner.
It's going to be a really tough retake for them. It's like Humi and Foods just being able to hold that CT angle there.
With that pickoff indeed. Josh is now with the refrag. 1v3 though, but Arena can really pull something out of the bag. But not like that. Foods does get that kill. Subversive now up by 3. And how the tables have turned. It seems like we're gonna be getting a grand final match, aren't we here, Vim?
Well, we are. It's still anybody's match here. Let's see. But so far, Subversive is running away with it. Is starting to run away with it, actually. 63 3-point lead. They had a rough start. A couple rounds going in favor of ArkAngel, but they were able to turn it back, and now they're on a 5-win streak here. And again, just playing off their utilities so very, very well. CMS, those crucial flashes just opening the site, buying a lot of time for the rest of their team to execute onto the site. And don't you just love it when your breach actually flashes the enemies and doesn't flash the rest of your team?
Exactly.
It's just a sight to see.
Exactly, because you can actually see in front of you compared to your opponent. So yun talaga yun eh. Parang, uy, okay to ah. Parang di ako nabubulag dito. No need for my sunglasses, but right now, Josh is looking cool under pressure and gets away from the fault line in time. Looks for the lineup though, but oh, that's gonna be able to get away in time. And for Subversive, if they can get out of dodge and get out of danger like that, then they can really rethink their plans, and now they move over to B site instead.
Now, taking a look at what ArkAngel is doing here, they're playing a bit further behind. They're playing a bit more passively in their positioning. And this is what they have to do, because you got to expect, these default executions from Subversive. They're going to use their utilities up front to open up the site. So if they give them enough space and go for a 5-man retake, that might actually work out very well for ArkAngel here.
And ArkAngel, though, they only have one member here on B side, but it is going to be the great Johan looking to hold the line. But will he be the late Johan? Yes, he is. Humi gets that takedown, but Youngpork getting picked off, so no smokes to really use around here. And now for the side of Subversive, as well as ArkAngel, at mga tamang rotate nandito for si Joshes. Kumikutob na siya, may tao dito sa gitna. Makikita ba niya ang kalaban dito? Ito yung Killjoy, there you go, the two duelists with a pick off there. PVD on the board to get 3, and ArkAngel making the difference happen again. They don't fall for the same trick twice, and they get rid of the lurk and the defenders at the same time.
It's exactly what I was talking about. What happens when you don't get any value off the utilities initially being used by Subversive? Then you go for that 4 or 5-man retake. Well done by ArkAngel. It's just basically the way to play it when you have such an explosive breach, such a CMS on the other team trying to attack.
And there you go, ArkAngel keeping it simple. And there you also have Josh S and PBD up on top. Seems like, though, technical pause going to be in order. But for the time being, let's look at those score lines. Foon, though, that is a performance to remember instead. He has really turned it up to 11 from basically a negative 11 in the last game. Right. It's good to see him because he's really contending with some of the best on the side of ArkAngel. Subversive is only playing one duelist compared to the 2 that ArkAngel has. And Foon is really leading his team to some victories here because of his performance.
Yeah, most teams favor a duelist composition, but definitely if you have a player like Foon on the jet, you can definitely take the reins of making that entry onto the site and fulfilling his role as a duelist for the team.
There you go. It really goes to show that for Foon, that first game was a bad one. The second game is a good one. But I gotta commend what Johan has been doing for the side of ArkAngel. Now, I could honestly say that he's just not getting the kills that he would like here. But whoever rather he shoots, they just die. Because look at that. 6 kills and 6 assists. It means the paranoias have been perfect. His shots have really hit the mark. And he gets the tag down enough to make sure that Josh S or PBD can get those takedowns. Because looking at the duelists here, they don't have many assists, and it's good for them because not only does the Blade Storm get recharged faster, but the Reyna relies on getting those kills. At kung importante dito ang last hit talaga para sa ArkAngel, I gotta give it to what they're doing right now. Hindi ko sure kung sinasadya talaga nila, but it's something interesting to think about. And with that kind of setup, you can really see how Josh S and PBD are up on top, being enabled by the rest of the team.
I have to agree with you there. 3 ultimates online for the side of ArkAngel. And looks like Daks, nung pinalit nila yung defense protocol nila, they've been playing a more defensive blocking. Talaga mas na-anticipate nila yung attacks ng Subversive. And all of a sudden, Subversive not getting a lot of value off their utilities right there. As we are in Tactical Pause, again, this map, Ascent, is the pick of Subversive. And this is a very, very different story from our first match. And I guess this is why this is their comfort pick right here.
Exactly, and we are actually seeing a match here, ladies and gentlemen, compared to the steamroll of a streak from the side of ArkAngel and Bind. But I think for Subversive, their core unit or core agent rather to keep alive has to be Young Pork, because we see them play Ascent very well when they use up to 5 smokes in a round. Makita natin si Foon, biglang tatapon niya lahat, si Young Pork makikitulong. At kung mapitas dito ang Omen ng Subversive compared to, well, losing Johan on the side of ArkAngel, it doesn't seem to be the biggest deal for ArkAngel compared to the bigger deal on the side of Subversive. Because for ArkAngel, they see their opponent, they get that takedown with a double duelist, so they don't really need the smokes too much. For Subversive, as we mentioned, the Breach and the Killjoy can really do wonders from in behind the smoke. And with that being said, keeping Young Pork alive might be the priority for the next few rounds.
It's like we are going to get back into the game here. Carl with that quick recon.
Carl, what's the lineup? There you go. And still Foon getting in position. But look at that. So much intel here for the side of ArkAngel. And Johan will get to. But Subversive eventually checking the log cubby. And they do get the punish. Very pansin talaga natin Subversive. Kailangan nila mag-ingat sa setup nito. Kasi huli sila kagad na Omen. At suddenly, ito na rin ang lockdown galing sa side ng Subversive. Josh is trying to hold on to the market. Really whittling it down. Empress time online. Waits out the seconds. But here comes AA. Now they see that the dome is gone. It might be the start line ready to go here and now. And this is going to be the Reyna still going for as many shots. But there's the Jet. There is Foon. He will get caught out by PBD. On site, it's Foods as well as Humi. And they're trying to hold the line. There's the Leer. There's the shots. PBD will get the kill from the right lane. Foods over the kill on the Nasmi. At 1v2 ngayon. Kaya ba ng ating Killjoy? There's the backstab. ArkAngel with the proper timing. But do they have enough time here, Vim? Aabot pa sila.
I do believe they do.
This is going to be close, but they will
1.67 seconds left on the clock, Daks. I mean, in Valorant terms, it's actually quite a bit of time. Pero grabe yung ginawa ni Josh S. Dunn, yung restraint na hindi siya lomas. You know, siguro naramdaman niya si Foon nandun sa hard right corner, outside of that door sa market. And that's really a very tricky corner that you always need to check when you're going to retake B site.
Yeah, paranoia, it's not only an Omen ability, but it's also a state of mind. And Josh is being paranoid enough, waiting for PBD to push from B main. And I love the angle. Saktong-sakto na yung angles na ng AA. Nakita nila, okay, 12 seconds na lock na to. Pwede tayo pumunta sa iba't ibang sides ng map na to. At yun na talaga yun eh. When ArkAngel decides to play Subversive's game, they can really do it so well. And that was such a good rotate from them as we get into the last round before the sides do swap.
They are heavy stacking towards A main here. Josh S is going to be on that alert, but will be met with a lot of resistance here.
Oh, aggressive push from Josh S this time doesn't work. He needed to get that kill to dismiss away. But for now, Subversive feeling confident with that pickoff. But Young Pork quite low already. We've seen how important the smokes have been so far for the side of Subversive. So they'll wait it out, get better positioning, and move over to the other side of the map instead.
Integral part of their team, the Reyna, has Josh S been absolutely crucial in terms of retakes here for the side of ArkAngel. That's going to be a 4v5, although Young Pork, piso na lang ang buhay niya.
Talaga yung minsan, piso lang kailangan mo para mabuhay. Minsan, piso lang kailangan mo para matuwa. Pero ngayon, yung Blade Storm talaga ang nakakatuwa dyan kay Foon. Pitas kagad si Johan Subversive right now with that push. 11 HP Dream still alive here for the Omen. And he will get rid of Carl along the way. Odin, though, meeting CMS's end. Subversive setting up on B side, 4v2 now. And it's up to PBD. And the rotating Johan. First fire doesn't connect. And Foon will get punished accordingly.
Nasby will be rotating onto flank for B main. PBD, of course, waiting for Nasby to get into position. Let's see if it actually catch out Humi right here. But Humi anticipates it. Takes down Nasby. So going to be up to PBD. 1v3 situation. This is the last round in the first half.
Look at that bait and switch. Even though Young Pork was the one picked off, Humi will get the kill instead. And Subversive again playing into their style. Humi making noise, Young Pork waiting it out. In the end, the roles were reversed with Humi getting the kill, but hey, a win is a win, and Subversive up by 2 as they go on the defense, which I would say would be even better for them.
I have to agree with you there. Subversive, very strong first half performance. And if you have, again, a Sentinel like Foods and utilities, you know, like a Breach and a Sova in a team comp like this, I'd say it's definitely, yeah, it's going to favor like a defensive team comp. Now, it looks like for ArkAngel, you know, they don't have a lot of utilities to displace their opponents. They have, you know, a couple flashes here and there, and perhaps speed up their sleeves in the side of PBD and Josh S when in terms of entering a site, but they don't really have, you know, a breach. They don't really have mollies or anything like that. So let's see what they can actually pull off right here.
Yeah, they don't have much tools for the zone, but as you mentioned, speed kills, and this is gonna be ArkAngel's bread and butter. Pero yun nga talaga yung molly setup ng Nanoswarm dito. Gallagay Food, and he catches out Josh Ness because the rest of ArkAngel isolated, and Food will get rid of Nasmi, but Carl with the refrag for now. PBD waiting out on Boathouse. ArkAngel getting in position though on B site habang nag-iintay yung Omen dito sa B main. Pero pa-rotate ang Subversive at magiging 3v3 nga dito sa B.
CMS onto Market. I mean, they gotta expect somebody to be in B main. Perhaps they will be able to pick him off before attempting to execute.
Oh, no.
Goes unchecked.
Oh, what a shot indeed. And the high ground here from Johan lets him get 3. ArkAngel, they say, ano yung 2-round read na yan? It's time for us to take it back and make it a 7-7 scoreline. They're halfway there. They're gonna have the guns, and they're gonna be looking good further into the next round.
They're definitely gonna look into buying into this round, as of course they want to even out the scoreline. And now's not the time to take risks, especially if you're down at 1 point coming into the second half. SVR, they can't afford to save in this one.
Yeah, they cannot afford for this round at all. They're not gonna have the guns that they need. Subversive could be looking to keep it up though on the defense still. And now they're gonna be stacking onto A side instead. Saktong scan lang daw galing kay Humi. Perfect start yet again. Has been really such a game changer for both teams. We've seen it before from Carl. We've seen it before from Humi. And right now we will see Humi die as Josh decides to go for the push despite the fault line. Food though with that kill. Josh is now with 2, using the invulnerability there from the dismiss. Youngport now with a punish. And suddenly it's 2v2. ArkAngel throwing everything on the wall. And sure, some of it sticks. But hey, for now, it's Subversive tying it up. 2v3 ngayon. Youngport higher from the side. CMS with that kill. And the defense now with the advantage.
Damn, that was absolutely insane. I mean, that was such a good entry by Josh S. going for that double leer, taking down Humi over there, but it just wasn't enough. He was able to dismiss onto backside of A. But again, just punished by Young Pork and CMS right there.
I think I was too risky there from ArkAngel. Sure, you have those iframes because of the dismiss, but everyone else gonna get caught out, and that's what Subversive did in that round. Saktong punish lang dun sa transition. At habang ngayon, PBD, he's thinking about going over to A as
30 seconds left.
It might be a good chance for him, but look at the cubby hold here from the side of Subversive. Now, he can always go for B site, but he doesn't really know that no one's there, basically. We can see it right now on the map, and it kind of looks funny for us, but for PBD, being paranoid is the okay thing. So he's just going to go for it. Cloudburst in hand. Time to plant it down and go for post-plant.
10 seconds left.
A quick rotate is going to be in order from the side of Subversive. Let's see what PBD can do in this 2v1 situation.
Played for time, though.
They might be expecting him over there at Boathouse.
And you know what's funny? If we see Subversive just push on the side, see no one, and decide to defuse instead. But look at how PBD has set things up. He wants to get the angle on the lane to go for the shots. And even though Subversive is unseen so far, they are completely heard. And PBD with the Vandal in hand with full armor can actually make this happen. But there's the push! And there we have Steve going down, but no fork! With the flick in time, as you mentioned, Subversive should have enough time to get the defuse and make this a round to remember, because they get the win, they get the gun, and they get the advantage again.
What SCR did right in that round was that they played together. Young Pork and CMS, you know, they did not want to make it a 1v1 situation between them and PBD. When you have the man advantage played out, especially, you know, trying to prevent a clutch situation from happening in a round such as that.
Talaga yan. And you know, for ArkAngel, it feels like it's a homecoming to them for so many of them. As we mentioned before, many of these names have held the ArkAngel logo before and that ArkAngel prefix. But for now, it's a new game, it's a new day, and it's great to see a great org in a game like this. For now, it's still not over. Subversive has been a great team in the history of Valorant PH. And for them having this lead, after the confidence, after that thrifty round, then they should be feeling it. But Josh is feeling the momentum go back in their favor. Beautiful 1-tap there on Young Pork. As CMS looks to get back in position. Double hold dito para sa ating side ng defense on the garden. And we also see Humi looking to reinforce.
That will buy them enough space to get in position, but they do anticipate that.
outcome though. And Josh S, he cannot do it twice. Humi will get that kill instead. Shock Dart to get the zone. Seems like Subversive forced to stay in their lanes as ArkAngel already going for the push. There's the fault line though. There you can see the breach difference. And Johan still planting it down. Already Humi getting in position, but the Rafters hold here from the side of Subversive. Not working so far because Carl already the kill on CMS and AA already on A sites.
And that fault line was just perfect timing, denying PBD to make space for the rest of his team right there. Not denying heavy control. Humi on that battle, shutting him down.
Turret though, it's peeking, it's getting the shots, alarm bot there as well, and Food with a kill. Johan though takes down Humi, close enough to make that frenzy work. Versus Nasty going for the 1-tap, missing the shot. Food will get that takedown, and now it's all up to the Omen. Johan cannot take the 1-tap on the other side. Food will get that kill, and there you go, a nice way to go about things. Foods will make it a 3-round lead.
Was a bit too close for comfort though, for the side of SVR. I mean, ArkAngel making the most out of their sheriffs. Josh S just, 1-taps abound. However, Subversive still a very commanding lead coming into this game number 2. Full buys on both sides. Let's see if ArkAngel can bounce back.
Yeah, you make it such a good point there, Vim. At yun talaga yan eh. ArkAngel can win no matter what guns they're using. And Josh is usually the standard bearer of that. We saw when the Sheriff makes the entry happen. So we already saw Subversive rotate back, say, okay guys, let's pretend na full buy sila. Sakto lang yung fault line doon. Sakto lang yung question ng Killjoy stuff. And there you go now. Sakto lang ang pitas dito na yung onto Josh S. You'll handle with the refrag. But losing a Reyna on the offense kind of hurts your momentum and tempo. And AA has to decide how they want to go about things this time.
It's like time and again in this round, in this match, however, pag na-shutdowns Josh S early on in the round, mas nahihirapan talaga ang ArkAngel. Of course, when you don't have that Leers to execute on the side, it's going to be, such a tall order to try and shut down specific angles.
It's a good line because it doesn't blind your teammates and you have to shoot it down if you're on the other side. PBD though, already cubby control in favor of ArkAngel. They're by the tree. They're looking to go plant one in the garden or maybe onto A site itself. And the smoke is going to be coming on through. Pero pansin talaga natin, Subversive, they're always holding this angle with the breach. I don't expect less from CMS to get the fault line in position.
Like what they're doing so far, there's just
30 seconds left.
Waiting for a sign of full commitment, and then they go for a complete retake altogether.
Planted.
There's no reason to be over-aggressive at this point.
Yeah, but here we go. It's time for us to see what Youngport can do. Still has the paranoia in hand. Subversive already rotating. Sad to say, Foods can't bring everything along because those nano swarms are set up there. Pero mukhang dala-dala niya yung lockdown dito. At mahihirapan ng ArkAngel to play close. But Main not getting covered too far. Youngport go with the punish on one. Tries to go for the transfer on Nasby. But that's the Killjoy. That's rather than Cypher getting that kill. Killjoy ultimate though ain't the play. No one didn't get detained. Humi going for the stick. CMS getting in position to try and block some bullets. But here comes the shot. PBD with a takedown. Humi really sticking it. Does it beat the halfway marker and Foods now all alone. 2v1 situation. Kaya ba ng Killjoy ito? Mukhang mapipit na siya. No spike dito. Walang oras nga. And PBD will get that final kill. Gets out of dodge. Survives there for ArkAngel. And they will take that round.
Napakahirap ng post-plant situation dun, Si Foods nakapag-lockdown pa. But despite that, ArkAngel maintaining their cool, calculated composure and just closing out the round in such a good manner. They didn't have to overpeak or get over aggressive. They just had to play out the time. That's what they did.
Exactly. And PBD playing that so well. He really checked up on that spike again, wasn't scared of CMS. And I gotta say for Humi, sticking that one wasn't really the best way to go about things. Na napansin ko nga na muntik na siya maka-halfway. At feel ko yun yung gusto gawin ni Humi doon. Pero hindi siya umabot talaga at nag-peak na kagad ang ating jet sa kabila. So you already know that ArkAngel had the advantage there. 1 out against the breach, 1 out against the Sova. And from then on, Foods couldn't really do anything. But Subversive, they were kind of stuck in their ways because of the time limit. But here we go, another time, another round. And Food with the Blade Storm. And Nasby will go down.
Foon really successful in getting those first bloods, opening picks. Even on their attack phase earlier, Foon looking very, very impressive in this round.
ArkAngel though, Cubby control gonna be the way to go. Josh S, kanina pa siya sabi, oy Cubby, a victory akin talaga to. And this Reyna has been opening up multiple times here on A site, but sad to say, after that, he does get picked off. So for now, we'll see if Josh S can survive a little longer to get a chain of kills. Empress available, Generator sake, and ArkAngel right now looking to go for the setup, and Young Park did not even stand a chance, as here comes the Silva on the high ground inside the smoke. The first rotating accordingly.
I mean, this is really the only way they can play. They gotta play it sneaky, they gotta play it slow. Josh S trying to go for that wallbang from hell. Looks like he will get picked off.
Exposes the position there, but it's now 2v2. PBD and Johan doing all they can and more. And the Omen staying on the left side. PBD again wins out on the main angle. And ArkAngel creeping closer and closer. Subversive saying, guys, gusto natin magpa-game 3 to. Pero hindi, sabi ng ArkAngel, we want to make this a 2-0. And creeping up on the scoreline is the best way to do it.
Kasi yung ganitong situation versus this team composition, in given the composition of ArkAngel, they have to play it slow and try to avoid getting picked off really early. They definitely need Josh S to stay alive when executing on the site. You know, they're sort of explosive executes will definitely not work kasi sobrang dami utilities ng SVR. So they have to be sneaky. As Nasby takes down Foon there.
2 for 2 though, and Humi changes it up to get those kills. Subversive, as we mentioned before, they can change their pace suddenly, and Humi is the best player to do it with 3 in a row. Pero mukhang si Foods nag-iintay dito. Saktong setup lang para sa Killjoy. Palapit ng ArkAngel ngayon. Pero si Josh, siyempre, may leer pa siyang hawak-hawak dyan. Throws it down. Here comes the rotate from Gastova. Nanoswarm is there, but Carl will get that kill after the help from our Reyna, and it's up to Humi to wrap up with an ace or he will fall.
38 HP gets taken down by Carl. A swift shot to the body. The score is now tied 9-9.
ArkAngel,
like,
yeah.
ArkAngel 3-round win streak.
It's ridiculous. How are they doing it, honestly? How do they keep winning here on A sites?
Kasi yun nga, in ginawa nila dun, SVR was giving them a lot of space previously in the past couple rounds. Although in the previous round, they did try to aggress, right? But when SVR gave them a lot of space, they took that space and it was just really sneaky across the map and sort of exploded on site, as opposed to, going rushing, guns blazing, giving all the information that SVR needed.
They're like a cat. They just cram themselves in a spot and they say, this is my spot now. Get away, human. And for now, ArkAngel is really making sure that that is their domain. And look at them. They're doing it again. Moving over to A site. Already Johan taking control of the courtyard. There's a bit of a lurk there from Nasmi. Josh, as though he's been winning duels here and there before on the Cubby. He's trying to do it again, but a double up here from the side of Subversive might be the answer. But Johan with a kill on Foon. That's exactly what ArkAngel needs here.
That's absolutely a huge pick, but looks like Josh S will be getting a huge picks of his own right here. Could he get a 3K?
Sabi nga pa, diba? Josh S and the Cubby is the match made in heaven here, and it's really showing why he favors that spot. ArkAngel going over to fake out A as they decide to set up a B instead. CMS though looking to rotate the card, looking for a target or two. He doesn't see the Owen so far. Youngford right now with the Sheriff and Subversive playing the eco round, but they will not get anything so far because ArkAngel, they're ready with the guns, they're ready with the ultimates, and they're ready to try and wrap up this whole game with everything they have.
Yeah, it looks like Young Pork, if he can't get a gun, all he has to do is at least try to go for some kills, because if he does save, he's not going to get enough money.
There we go.
There we go.
Josh S with 3. Cubby is just contained so easily by this Reyna. And from what we're seeing here from ArkAngel is when they play their cards right and when they play their style well, then you can really see how unstoppable their duelists can be. PBD and Josh S, they go in, they go ham, they get those kills. Beautiful holds from PBD, beautiful entries from the Reyna of Josh S.
But sobrang risky ng ginagawa ng ArkAngel, Josh S and PBD, Johan, they're pretty spread far apart throughout the map. They're all playing for picks autonomously, which is very risky in that previous round, but they just managed to make it work. Pero ngayon, mukhang Josh S will be leading the charge here into a more default execute for the side of ArkAngel onto B side.
That's the way it goes, and here we go instead with Team BD taking that mantle. He gets one, but Josh S is given the second duty. And with that being said, the Empress is the best tool for CMS. 1-tap lang yan. Okay na kaagad. Goodbye to the Reyna mode. Goodbye to the Empress mode. And goodbye to the raid boss there. Youngpork also with the kill. Subversive double holding on to both halves. Looking so clean here, but Foods now will fall. Wall bang from Youngpork. They're trying to get that spike, and it's going to be a hard fight here from the side of AA, but they will have the angle so far, and they might be able to get a pick off here. There's the smoke though, and it's time to get that objective down.
Yeah, that's the only thing they can do to try to get the spike and maybe go rotate to A. Carl has the right idea. He is making a beeline to A site.
Johan though, he decided to play hero, and sometimes when you play hero, you go 0, and that's what happens there. 2v1, and it's all up to Carl now. Good call though to go over to A. They still have the lead, and they're trying to keep it up in a 1v2 situation.
Again, if there's any agent that can do well against a 1v2 post-plant situation, it could be the Sova, especially if you're very crafty with those lineups. He does have full utilities, does have a recon, and those shock darts.
Make some noise, breaks the window, but Youngpork will get that kill. That is just well played there. 11 HP though, that could have gone ArkAngel's way. Pero sayang lang talaga yung HP advantage dun. And in all honesty, pag nakikita ko yung mga A-rotate na ganun, and you know your opponents are all the way on B side, I would love to see people be a bit more proactive there and break that window before going for the plant. Kasi he had to make the noise first on the glass. That really tipped it off for Subversive, and it could have made that split-second difference there.
Yeah, like that's a very good point, and perhaps a bit of an oversight for the side of Carl. But again, valiant effort, very good read, and the timing was absolutely perfect for him to go for that quick 2K. But Youngpork with that quick flick to the head.
I've seen Youngpork do it like twice this game, really saving his team.
The guy
there
is insane with his flicks, man.
A flick of the wrist.
Yeah.
Ano kaya score niya sa aim lab? Yun yung tanong. But hey, we'll get back into the action here. 10-10, and Subversive, they needed that pickoff, and Foon catching out Johan is always a good sign here for the defense. They're hungry for a game number 3, and in a scoreline like this, they have to work for it. It really goes to show that ArkAngel has stepped into the yard and really put them on notice. Will we see the same performance there in game number 3 if it happens, or can ArkAngel wrap it up even though they're a man down in this round? It's time to go for mid control. It's time to go for the push onto market perhaps, but the alarm bot is waiting, and it might see someone on the other side.
You see how confidently they play. Like, they leave certain angles unchecked, and just a very good read on where their opponents are. Typically, you don't see both Carl and Josh S just looking at mid without checking short there, but Foon takes down PBD.
Another good one here from Foon, and it really goes to show that he has shaken off that game number 1. He said, warm up lang yan, guys.
30 seconds left.
To go na talaga ako, at nag-iinit talaga ang ating jet. CMS also with the spawn hold. You don't see it too often, but when it works, it works. ArkAngel though, with the pick off onto Foon. Josh is already pushing. We already know that Subversive is having someone in both house, and he'll be trying to go for the initial shot, but he gets rid of Josh instead. There's the straight down from Nasby. 30 HP and 3. Gonna be able to get a spike down. Fault line is there though, and he sticks it. He knows he's already dead in the water, as here comes Subversive to get that kill.
Much needed round for Subversive, now with a 1-point lead. Things are looking very good for them so far. They're going to be coming into the next round with the lockdown online for Foods. It's going to be a very big game changer for them.
And as we can see here from the side of Subversive, you can really rely on CMS to help out. 12 assists from the side of the Breach. Pero doon sa side ng ArkAngel, 9 assists para kay Carl, 9 assists para kay Johan. Sobrang nakakatulong talaga rin yan yung mga dart gameplay dito ni Carl. And from both sides, it goes to show that when everything is really popping off, we're going to get such a close game. No difference for now in terms of the agents. It's all about who can make the clutch happen, and Subversive with a slight lead in this really close game.
Blade Storm and Neural Theft in the online for the side of ArkAngel. He's spotted out by that recon.
ArkAngel though, Going for the push. Look at that cubby hold though from the side of the Killjoy. Foods is ready to contest Josh as this time. And he realizes, okay, sige, hindi ko kailangan ng tulong dito. Kailangan ko ng mga gadgets. At baka ito yung sagot para lang patigilin yung Reyna ngayon. First time ni Foods back off muna dyan because the drone is there. Here comes the Hunter's Fury though from Humi. And does he get a target? Johan will go down. And goodbye to the Omen already as Johan had such a good game in map number 1. This time it's pretty so-so. He's getting picked off way too often at the start. But 4v4 ngayon, the push coming on in from ArkAngel. Youngpork staying down below as Subversive will go for the Raptors hold. But Youngpork with a spray down, even catching up Nasty. He will get the 3. Oh my god, Youngpork is doing it. Gosh, is now all alone, and the double up will answer for Subversive to be on match point. What a shot.
That lineup.
Match point.
Double kill from Youngpork. Just basically sealing the deal for SVR in that round. Now we're going to match point, Daks. Let's see if PBD on that operator can turn things around. But so far, SVR looking high and mighty right now.
It was so unfortunate there for Nasmi. He just said, dude, I want to set up. And Youngpork hits me in the head while killing the person in front of me. Sometimes you can see those lines, they can go all the way. And in the end, Youngpork just gets a 3K, holds down A side, and ArkAngel looking to keep it simple this time. They go for the rifle instead for PBD. They are going to go for the push on A sites. And there you go, Subversive have to react accordingly.
Like they're going for this shock and awe approach. They're going all in really fast. See if PBD can secure a kill here.
Updraft onto the rafters. Good positioning here from the side of ArkAngel. But Youngpork with the punish and Subversive. They're hungry for a map win. And they're trying to do it here and now. Goodbye to the Jet. And goodbye to some positions because of that lockdown. But Josh is trying to get away. The dismiss though will keep him exposed. And the Hunter's Fury to actually get rid of the gadget there instead. Gets a tag though on the Foods. Carl going for the 3-point closer. And Foods and his gun getting seen in time. Carl though busy with the dart. Food will push and get that kill. Johan on the left. Nasty gonna be there though to hold, and it's all up to Humi now. Can he get it? No sir! Nasty gets back to position here on the A site. He defends his spike there, and ArkAngel will still live in this game.
Despite Youngpork getting a crucial opening pick in that retake attempt, still ArkAngel able to run away with that round 11-12. Are we gonna go into overtime here, Daks? We'll see.
I'm just happy about this game. Honestly, this is what the best of Subversive and ArkAngel can do. First game, it was just ArkAngel so, but this time, this is both teams really giving their all. And then overtime would be spicy, but Subversive, as we said before, they need this map win to force out Haven.
It's like, you know, this is the type of action that we were expecting coming into this grand finals for 1Tap. CMS only with Spectre at hand here.
CMS on the high ground. Raptors is the way to go. Flashpoint right now to get the point across. And he's trying to get the second one there. But Josh says it's time to do it again. Empress online, good to go. CMS holding on the high ground. Trying to get away from headshot distance. There we go though with the wallbang action. And Nasmi almost gets a lineup. But Subversive bringing everything they can and more onto the Raptors so far. And CMS blows up Carl. But there comes PBD with a spray down. Rolling Thunder into play. Spoon with the flamethrower though. And Subversive looking to wrap it up with a knife's edge. They go for the dash on in. Youngpork with that takedown. And where is Johan? Nowhere to be seen. The turret and CMS will see him. And we will go into a map number 3.
Subversive in game number 2, securing a 13-11 victory. Starting off with a very strong first half there, 75. And then just maintaining their momentum throughout the second half. That was just an impressive performance from Subversive, and of course ArkAngel as well. Again, we mentioned that this is the type of action that we were expecting coming in from these two very strong teams, and that was just such a sight to see.
This is an amazing, amazing start to ArkAngel's career here. But Subversive did get the 1-up in this round, in this game, and in this map. But we are not done yet, guys. Game number 3
not done yet.
Gonna be Haven. I gotta say, This is what Foon needs to do. They needed him to go online and bind. Didn't happen. This time though, reboot, try again, and he takes top honors there alongside Josh S. Duelist difference doesn't happen this time. No duelist diff whatsoever. Josh S, as well as we've seen from Foon, really even there. But in the end, the amount of utilities still going in favor of Subversive. And as we said before, that's a playstyle they really want, don't they?
Yeah, especially no attack phase nila, no? Grabe talaga yung synergy ng utilities, ng Subversive. They know very well how to play with each other in their specific team composition. And that is one of their greatest assets coming into that round. Let's see what they have up their sleeves for Haven.
Exactly. It's going to be interesting because from what I've seen from Subversive's history, they have a lot of these pocket strats on a map like this. But ArkAngel, they can divide and conquer. They can get pickoffs. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them do really well on the attacking side if they get that first blood against the opposition. Same eyes, though. We'll keep an eye out on Josh S versus Foon. What will we get? PBD. You can never count that man out as well. And from what we've seen there from Johan, he had a great first game, a so-so second game. He might be able to get back his mojo again. But as we mentioned before, Subversive and their flexibility is one to watch out for, especially from both Humi as well as CMS.
Man, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more role swaps abound here for the side of SVR coming into this third map. As we've seen CMS either play Sentinel as a form of Sage here in Haven, or perhaps a duelist such as Reyna.
He also plays that Breach, right, on a map like this. He can also play that Sova. And it's interesting because we have two of the most flexible players we've ever seen in the history of Valorant between Humi and CMS on the same roster. Exactly. And that's what I really love about Subversive. Not only have they been a good supporter of Valorant PH from the get-go, but also they always bring this element of what will these guys do today? And for Subversive, that surprise factor and that flexibility is one of their best strengths when they cannot outmuscle their opponent, because ArkAngel is really flexing on them in that regard, and we saw some brains really work out for them in game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, it looks as if they are losing more duels versus ArkAngel, right? And they had to rely on their utilities and, make use of that breach difference to carry them to victory.
Yeah, not only that, also the Killjoy difference. Nano Swarm, so good at the stall, and we really saw the power of the molly there no matter what. For ArkAngel, they took the no molly route. They're just like, let's just go in, let's go fast. But when your pace is slowed, because not everyone can make it to the other side, then you have to rely on the gung-ho-ness of both Josh S and PB to do it. Sometimes it would work, but more often than not, it was an unfavorable trade. I remember that one where Josh S was like, okay, Nano Swarm in front of me, I don't care. I'll kill someone, dismiss, do it again. He got 2 kills, pero suddenly Youngpark punishes him, and everyone else is dead in behind. So, dahil lang doon na napipitas ng Subversive talaga ang ArkAngel, dahil doon sa pag-pace na slowdown, doon sila sobrang nakakakuha ng advantage. At yun talaga yun, utility versus speed. And when Subversive can make that utility slow down that speed, then that's where they can go. But if ArkAngel can get that speed going, that's where they win. What a close game that map number 2 was, and I'm expecting great things here from map number 3. Pero I have one small, nuance to keep an eye out on. Kasi last time, pick yun ng Subversive. This time, it's the randomized pick from our pool. Kaya ba ng Subversive sa, you'd say, might not be their comfort zone here compared to what's on Ascent?
Historically, Haven, not really their strongest map for the side of Subversive, but let's see if they were able to develop some new strategies here to sort of remedy that issue with, of course, the addition of Humi to the roster.
Exactly. And historically, right, they made that Sage strat because they struggled so heavily on the map, and then it was the X Factor rather, the wild card to really deal with some teams here and there. But in the end, it was still scouted, and Subversive was back to the drawing board. So what did they draw up this time? Or will we see ArkAngel just get the pickoffs that we're anticipating, especially from the doubles duelist comp? We'll find out in just a bit though, but this has been a solid final so far, and I'm glad we're able to do it today.
Yep, very, very much anticipated matchup that I've been personally waiting to see for quite some time. But before we get into Game 3, we're going to take a quick break, Mr. Daks. And of course, big shout out to fans of SVR watching, fans of TMT, and of course, our local Valorant PH community, pro players and fans alike. Big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for supporting this. We'll be back in just a bit.
Welcome back, guys! And here we are, do or die time para sa ating dalawang teams dito. Ito na 1-1 score, Mr. Vim, as we have seen both ArkAngel and Subversive get maps under their belts.
It's such an intense matchup so far. The first round, went decisively for ArkAngel. Pero bumawi ang SVR sa Ascent in their map pick coming into the second round. Now, let's see what will happen into Game 3 sa Haven, mga kaibigan. Pero now is the time para mag-ingay sa chat ngayon. Fans kayo ng SVR, mag-ingay kayo sa chat. Fans kayo ng ArkAngel, make it known. Root for your favorite teams, guys. And, make some noise.
Exactly. Use some hashtags down below. Hashtag Subversive win or hashtag AA win. Either way works for us. And we just want to see who support dito sa ating 20K tournament. Of course, powered by Manila Esports Club. This is 1Tap episode 2. I know it could have been cool if he said reloaded, but hey, it's something. Maybe you can add it to the collection next on the list. But Haven is our map. 3 sites to work with. And will the side of ArkAngel be able to play Divide and Conquer to get those pickoffs? Will Subversive bring out something interesting in the cards? I cannot wait for this game to get started. But before we get into that, let's just look back a little bit. Game number 1, Bim. What was the story of that?
Story of game 1, it was just complete steamroll by ArkAngel. They were looking very, very much in sync with each other, just showcasing their chemistry as a team. And it was basically out-dueling anything that SVR was able to come up with during that game. But in round number 2, Daks, it was a battle of utilities for the side of SVR that brought them that dub. CMS on that breach, and of course Foods, Killjoy, Humi on that Sova, just perfect synergy of utilities. I was able to execute and defend those sites perfectly.
Exactly. And from what we've seen, if ArkAngel pops off and they are they are unstoppable basically. If there is no stopgate method whatsoever from Subversive, then that's a bit of a problem. But when Subversive can play to the level we expect from them, then we see an even match. But will this be tied third? Can Subversive actually put on a dominant performance to answer back on ArkAngel and spoil their debut under the brand ended org? Or will ArkAngel say, hello world, we are here with a championship? So far, though, it has been an amazing setup so far. An amazing debut for both of these teams, no matter what. TMT becoming AA, Subversive getting Humi on the roster. Either way, either how, it is going to be such a good call for both of these teams. But of course, getting that 12K out of our 20K prize pool is a sweeter deal. And whoever our champion here might get one up on their opponents as we get into Haven.
It's like we are going to get into the agent picks right here. Now, Young Port going to be in a signature Omen, it seems. Food's going to be on that Cypher CMS, on that Sova, and Foon on that Jet, of course. I wonder what Humi will play. Oh, he's going to be on Reyna. It's a very interesting team composition here that we haven't seen previously from SVR, especially in a map like Haven.
This is interesting. This is a complete answer back from the side of Subversive. And I'm not sure if this is the best call. Double Intel, double Duelist versus double Intel versus double Duelist. And Humi looking to lock in that Reyna. It really has to be them popping off like crazy. And in all honesty, Humi has been doing a good job here and there, but he hasn't been the most explosive player so far in this whole set. I'd give that to Foon. I'd give that to Josh S.
Josh S, definitely.
He's on this Reyna right now. This is a big gamble here for Subversive. The question is, will it work or will it falter? Because Josh S playing the safety raise, PBD on the Jets instead. And it seems like that Duelist is really just the difference here in terms of combat. So Umi locks it in, and it's time to believe in Subversive, or will ArkAngel punish accordingly?
I mean, the only Duelist quote-unquote difference right here is that Josh S is going to be on that raise, which of course has those tools of displacement in the form of those paint shells and those satchels, whereas Humi, on the other hand, has those Leers. So in terms of defending or executing, retaking like that, he could have the upper hand there. We'll see.
We'll see indeed, as ArkAngel gonna be on the attack first, Subversive on the defense, and 3 sites to work with. It's time for us to get into the game. And for believers really of Subversive, it's time to really go for your prayers here, because that Reyna will make or break this roster. That's pretty much it. ArkAngel in the meantime, they're looking stable, they're looking happy with a double Duelist setup no matter what. And you guys want to fly in the skies with ArkAngel here, it's time to do it. As we said before, these names under the AA brand before in different games, this time they're bringing it back in Valorant, and a great debut so far. But can Subversive spoil the fun, or will ArkAngel say, this is our name, please remember it, as we are going to be getting into this game, Vim?
Yeah, historically throughout this tournament, AA has been very, very strong on their attack. Again, they are very quick to refrag, very quick to go for those double peaks. And I expect nothing less than the same coming into this first round.
And Humi's whittling down, going for the shot. Seems like, though, for the side of ArkAngel, they're going for a window push, and no one is on B side as they expected the push here on A instead. Rotate there from the Sova. They're playing it behind, and if ArkAngel decides to just go gung-ho and go over to B, it's an easy take for them to put the spike down.
It's like Josh S will be making an entry over here. Moonbot's out. Humi takes down PBD, though.
What a shot from Humi! Dash in just to die. Humi though reloads in front of the raise, but Josh S unable to get that kill there and has to back on away. Humi now sticking it on here onto a link. Josh S though and Nasby on the board. There's the orb being the healer there, and that's gonna be 3 in a row for Humi. Very much a raid boss performance from the Reyna so far, getting that full armor because of the overheal, but so far only 27 there. It's 5 and picks up a Johan now with a kill. Youngport on the board. The Omen battle will go for Johan with 10 HP and 0 bullets to his name. If he missed one more shot, he had to go knife out, and that was so close, going to show that this game is as close as can be.
That was such an unexpected position over there from Johan, and was that Nasby or Carl? They were playing together over there at Headshot, and I guess Humi wasn't expecting both of them to be there. And even though if you're a raid boss Reyna on round 1 on full HP, there's it's still going to be a huge disadvantage no matter what if it's a 2v1 situation.
Absolutely. And it's ridiculous, isn't it? But Humi already proving how strong he can be here, Vim, with the Reyna. Good start for him, and he needs a performance like that to really make this thing work. Perfect paranoia from Youngport, keeping him alive. Fullbottle really chasing him, and Josh S will not stop whatsoever. Utility getting all the damage done. There we go with 2 in a row for the race. Humi sticking inside the smoke, looking for a ninja kill here and there, waiting for the Cypher to rotate. But here he comes, just to die. ArkAngel setting up here on C site, and Foods, he knows he has to go gung-ho for this spike, because if he doesn't die here, Vim, he's only gonna get 1k creds for the next round.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have to go for that kill, or at least try to get a gun, a Spectre perhaps. We'll see.
Love the bomb, man. See, if you see that spike implode, you're just like, let me hug you. Wall of death. Just take me now,
or
Lord.
just walk into the spike, right?
Yeah, it's just the way to go. It's love the bomb, be the bomb, feel the bomb. But for now, we'll see if Foods can be the bomb here. Can he get an exit frag here and there? He's already looking to go full kamikaze. He's just gonna go over to... Oh, he does get a few shots here and there, but PBD will get the kill instead. And ArkAngel make it clean 2 rounds in a row.
I'd like to make a quick note of what Josh S was able to pull off in that second round. When you have that boombot that pretty much makes an entry onto the site from C-Long, and then you have a lineup for those paint shells to basically hit back site, then it's going to be really tough to defense C, because you're always going to be over their backside or perhaps platform, and it's so easy to displace that, and that's the raise difference that we're seeing right now.
And the chase, man, you could really see Youngpark trying to get away from it, but no sir, no stopping whatsoever. Clean second round there after such a contested first one. And in the end, ArkAngel keeping up the tempo that we know from them. For now, it's time for Subversive to go for that third round turnaround. It's time to get the guns that they need, but Youngpark, he tried to do anything, but he already got shot by some bullets here and there past the smoke. 42 HP to say to the Omen, no sir, you're not going here anytime soon. And ArkAngel looking for the B take again.
Cover going out.
It's like they are intending to go pretty much all in, guns blazing. Josh S once again trying to make it happen for ArkAngel here.
Roombot bouncing around. Humi though will shut down the Roomba this time. And the Aldrone scouting on the round. It's TP there from Johan to get the hell away. ArkAngel though still stepping on up, watching over the link so far. Fundo with a takedown onto Johan. PVD with the answer. And there we go for the 1-for-1. Nasby on the board. Youngpark with the backstab, looking for the spray and the shot. But here comes the raise. And Josh just takes down Humi before CMS gets the refrag. Spray down though, still in order. There we go with the headshot onto the box. Carlton with the kill. And now it's 2 HP CMS versus the Ares of Carl to get that final blow. AA running away with it 3-0 for now.
What AA did there was a brilliant execution that we've been seeing it becoming more and more common nowadays, wherein the entry frag goes in, plants a spike, and then everybody pretty much exits onto mid window and grass. And what that does is that while the defending team tries to retake the spike, tries to defuse the spike, you basically have a full sight line if it's planted for window. And all you have to do is pretty much stall and play for time.
I mean, look at it right now. Even in a panoramic view, we can see how big that door is in the first place. And B side is just an open door. And right now, C is going to get the same treatment. Johan already went to ArkAngel, opening it up. And this is what we feared coming into this third game. Is Subversive comfy enough on a map like this to still stand up against ArkAngel? Or can ArkAngel just overrun so far? And it seems like Josh has taking control of Garage. Doesn't matter if CMS goes for the shot because he will get the 2K anyway. And AA looking so clean so far in this game. Even though it does lead to a 1v1 situation here, Vim, they still have the confidence to win it out twice in a row.
Looks like it's going to be Foods up against PBD. Does get a tap to the head over there.
Trick shot.
Oh my god! One tap coming in from Foods. He wants to play to the namesake of the tourney, but Josh S will say Vandal will answer you there. And ArkAngel now 4-0. Shades of Bind creeping closer and closer in this game.
I gotta say, man, nakakatakot si Josh S. He's just running around, shooting heads. It's just absolutely crazy. It doesn't matter if he's on Reyna, if he's on a different agent, if he's on Raze, he just basically pops off, and that's what he does. And that's been pretty much the story of his performance here tonight at 1Tap.
Absolutely. And like, look at Josh as he just worms his way in every single time. He's always in position to get those kills, and that he does pretty consistently. But the bomb buddy is out, and oh my god, he's
the devil, man.
He still does it. Now, I honestly thought CMS could get that kill because he saw that Boombot being thrown out. Only 8 HP left for a raise, but hey, a kill is a kill, and every single kill on the Haven attack really helps you out.
Grabe talaga yung mechanical ability ni Josh S. Just making it happen. Lots of first bloods all around. Opening picks for ArkAngel. It's like PBD will be trying to take control of backside here.
There you go. PBD with that pick off. Fudzo on the board still, but cannot put up the Sentinel performance that we like to see from him, as Johan will get that takedown up to Foon right now. But Pork comes from above. There you go. Foon is back in action. And in a case like this, it's Subversive looking to make this a proper 2v2. Carl looking at Young Pork, dead in the eye. Paranoia, too close still. And it's up to Foon again. He stepped it up in game number 2. Can he do it again here at game number 3? Can he put on the performance? Goes for the cloud burst, goes for a quick little tap. And the Hunter's Fury as well as the headshot is the 1-2 punch that ArkAngel needs to get that kill. And Carl, come on, don't do that to your own teammates.
That is such an annoying plant, by the way. You're open from heaven and you're open from CT at the same time. It's just so hard to defuse, especially a 1v2 situation like that.
Subversive, they're trying to prove that they can play ArkAngel's games and win it. But right now, ArkAngel is saying, no sir, look at that scoreline, 5-0. And Carl hasn't really died except that one time, going to show that ArkAngel is proving a lot of survivability. But if Subversive can really pop off the same way that they expect, then mind over matter. It's time for them to make it matter truly. But ArkAngel, they answer back immediately. CMS though with a beautiful Hunter Fury there, catching out Josh as cleanup duty there for the Sova. But unfortunately, it's not enough. And ArkAngel right now, we were mentioning this before, divide and conquer, and that's what they're doing so far.
It's like they are taking a lot of map real estate here. Foon trying to get a pick using his Blade Storm, but Young Pork gets tripped over that wire there. Foon taking down Carl.
Always good to see Foon on the board. Beautiful stuff there. But the first part doesn't connect again. And for Foon, it hasn't really been the right answer. He does so good with the left clicks, but the right click hasn't really connected as he would like. CMS though with the 3K so far. Nasmi now with the answer on Young Pork. And CMS,
I know exactly
on, playing it out. Eurotap! Oh my god. Clutch again from ArkAngel. And this is what, the 3rd round that they've done this? Get over to 1v1 and still win it out.
Just all of them, each of their players, just absolutely consistent all throughout this tournament series, proving to everyone that, you know, each of them are truly capable of clutching it out, and all of them looking very, very confident on the field here.
ArkAngel really proving how strong they can be, but Subversive, they still have the tools in the trade to try and make it work. We saw CMS really pop off on that round. Hunter's Fury to get the cleanup and then get some kills here there. Unfortunately, though, the Neural Tap put him in such a bad spot, and yeah, it's just such a good pick off there from the Cypher on the other side. But it's up to Foods right now to hold on to A, and that's what he's going to try to do. As we mentioned before, the Sentinel Prime, truly, of the scene. He can really hold as much as possible here for the side of Subversive, but now he gets the scout. He knows the 2 duelists are knocking on his doorstep, and he has a big job in front of him.
I mean, look at the spike. It's over there, over outside mid doors. As Josh S just takes down Umi with that paint shell, and Johan takes down Young Pork.
And the raise is just making such a big difference right now. We've seen the side of Josh S do wonders, not only with his gun, but he just does it with the paint shells and the boombots even. So for ArkAngel, this time they're proving to us that they can use whatever gadgets they have and more. But Subversive, again, looking for the infiltration. Will they get scouted though? Because already we see AA having an idea of what's to come. The EBD though with the takedown. Foods, he only has the Bucky. And here comes Josh S. Will they see each other? He goes into sword of him. He turns around after he hears the fucking shot. Carl will get that takedown. And this is just clinical again. Performance similar to Bind. Haven looking to be a slaughter so far. And Subversive, they know they need to bring in that map 2 gusto again to really stand a chance against ArkAngel here.
Really, the autonomy from ArkAngel is what's really standing out to me for them so far. Is just all of them capable of holding down lanes all by themselves. And Josh S, Ray's main question mark. He's been doing so many amazing things with those paint shells and that boombot though.
Every duelist he can play, but hey, Subversive, We mentioned before that utility is their strong suit. Right now, they are kind of in the home turf of ArkAngel and they're struggling to make it happen. But we've seen flashes of brilliance here and there. We've seen every single member of Subversive try to step it up. And they have given the attempt and they've gotten some results here and there, but it hasn't turned into win. Maybe though, Youngport with this operator might be the answer. He gets out safely this time from Seaside. Gonna have to from the shadows to get that intel. And there he goes in the middle of the map. Sees anyone coming his way. He might go for the shot here, Vim. And that he does cleanly gets rid of BBD as the Empress is online for Humi, but Nasty comes close. Moves down with a refrag. Neural left this time from Subversive. And they're throwing everything down to go for this retake.
It's like AA is going to be cornered onto C Long over here, but they do have sidelines on the spike. Carl spraying through that smoke.
Showstopper even going over to the other side. Fireworks display here from AA, but it's Foods holding close. And there we go with the spray down again. Perfect things here from ArkAngel. And there you go with the reaction. ArkAngel do it again. 8-0 right now. We see Subversive playing it smart, playing for the retake, but to no avail. And it's just heartbreaking to see here from the defense.
It's just they've gotten so close to securing a round, but you know, they just fall short at the last few seconds of that round. Just so unfortunate for the side of SVR, but very well executed from ArkAngel.
I just gotta say, for Subversive, it's so smart. But then you look at ArkAngel, they say, they're just so good. They are answering there.
It's just they are winning those aim duels, and they can just simply shoot faster than the other team.
Like, come on. Youngport already did a big brain from the shadows into the operator headshot. San ka pa, diba? San ka pa maghahanap sa first team? But it still isn't the win they're looking for. At ito na si Josh Esman. Shock dart muna dyan. Carl the win too so far. And AA just flying in yet again. Doing all the kills they can. Suddenly, it's doing all alone. And mukha talaga he's just gonna get swept in the wins here. Can't he go for the duel? At least on Nasty. Ito na bigla ang
flawless victory, man.
And this is just a flawless record so far from ArkAngel. 9-0 here on Haven. And for Subversive, they gambled on double duelists, and right now it's just not working on the defense.
I mean, we talked about it in the past, and we feel that SVR, the strength is that synergy of utilities, and maybe they could have geared towards a team composition that favored that strength.
Yeah. Like I said before in the draft, right? It's a big gamble here. And Humi showed up in round number 1 and stopped showing up after that one. It's just so hard for the Reyna and the Jet to be at the bottom again. And we saw this on Bind, and we saw how that one worked out. When we see Food really at the top of the charts, then he can do it there. But seems like when you call him out, it's going to be him answering. Humi with that pickup onto PBD. Good call there from the Reyna to dismiss away. He wants to get the top up though with another kill perhaps, as ArkAngel right now knocking on A steps.
Looks like a bit of early aggression from the side of SVR, looking very fruitful. I think that's pretty much the only way to try and counteract the sort of aggression that ArkAngel is exhibiting here. They're just really not doing anything special. They're just winning their duels and aggressively peeking time and time again.
Yeah, there you go. Smoke gonna get thrown out. Youngport to a perfect angle, and the paranoia too late. He jumps into smoke. He just tries away from Nasmi. A little bit of the gamble there doesn't work out for him, and it's now 3v3. AA though setting up on the corner here. High ground right now though for Humi on that Reyna, and maybe if he can get the peek there. But here comes the drop down, and he turns into a ball of energy as ArkAngel will have the 10-0 lead in this game.
This is unbelievable. What we're seeing right now is just such a clinical showcase here from ArkAngel.
This is just too much right now from ArkAngel. Gotta give it to Subversive for trying every single round to innovate. They have tried so many different things for the past 10 rounds, but none of it is just being approved by ArkAngel. It's like you go for a thesis and you just can never get your advisor's position and his approval. And it's just deny after deny here from the side of ArkAngel. And they go at it against Seaside. They're going hard. They're going fast. BBT with the first takedown. Even though we see Food get one, but Boombot is in behind.
You know what I mean?
He
With
just does it again.
Oh my gosh.
Plus Boombots. Josh S. ridiculous with explosives. And it's a fireworks display here from ArkAngel. But Youngport would burst down Carl. Pumi also on the board. Seems like it's going to be Subversive trying to answer back. But Johan with the catch already. Youngport trying to go across. Doesn't want to get touched.
That neural theft.
It's back. And the incel winning wars again. Subversive now forced to stay in the garage. A full minute left here for ArkAngel. And we mentioned this before. If they can play the speed they want, they can really keep the advantage up.
Yeah, I mean, they don't even need a flash to sort of penetrate that site because you have so many tools from that raise.
Just so unfortunate right now for Subversive. We saw them do amazing things on Ascent, really showing to us that this game can be as even as can be. But as we mentioned before, they're playing the style of ArkAngel, and it just isn't working. Youngport right now trying to figure something out with a smoke. There we go, though. AA. Oh,
the camera right there as well.
The pings in the camera, too much to handle. AA looking for a perfect half here, and they're one away from doing it.
Let's see if 12-0 is in order here, as this is the last round for the first half. Looks like SVR not looking too good, as they are going to be on low buys here.
And that's just it. They have to work with what they have, and it's just so sad to see here for the side of Subversive, because they put their hearts out on Ascent. It was an amazing game there on that map. But here on Haven, seems like all they're doing is going over to Heaven instead, as Youngport is the first angel here to be graced by ArkAngel itself. Really goes to show the hierarchy here. Normal angels, ArkAngels looking to go ham, and we'll find out if Pumi can lead the charge. Blades are available here though for the side of Poon. Can he make it through from the garage? As there's even a flank here from the side of ArkAngel, the Cypher creeping from in behind, but the peek is happening already from CT, and the firing squad is ready from AA. 2 for 2, Johan with that kill. Hunter's Fury right now. There's the heal to win at the bar, but Carl will get the lineup and get that final blow. Nasmi is a witness to the carnage as ArkAngel wrap up that half with a perfect score and are on tournament points.
Yep, this is going to be match point not only for this game, but for the tournament as well. And we will find out in a few moments if they will be able to close out and walk away with 12,000 pesos in cold hard cash.
20K on the line, courtesy of Manila Esports Club. We've already got the third placer Kamira making it happen there. Second place and first place being vied for here by ArkAngel and Subversive. And ArkAngel, one away from making such a sweet debut. Having a perfect score on the last game would just be a cherry on top of this Sunday. But Subversive, it's a clean slate. It's their time to shine. Pistol round really erases all the mistakes of the first half, and it's time to see if they can do it here and go for their run of their own.
It's like Humi and Foon trying to make an entry over here, but it's not anticipated. The tripwire over there at mid. Nasmi, Josh S quickly take them down.
God, ArkAngel doing it here, and Youngport all alone, but it seems like we are hearing the hymns of high heavens as ArkAngel is one away from landing this down, 6 HP, and the Dream's gonna be dead, and ArkAngel make a perfect record to win out 1Tap Episode 2.
My God. I mean, I have no words for just what we saw. Just an incredible performance from ArkAngel. What a debut for ArkAngel here, Daks.
Absolutely. That is going to make everyone on the side of ArkAngel absolutely happy. You just go for such a cherry on top record there. 13-0 on that last map, really sealing the deal. And that just basically erases what Subversive tried to do on Ascent. We saw flashback to find, and was even worse because Subversive this time couldn't even win the pistol, couldn't win that second round, and couldn't win on the Arsenal take. Now, I really gotta say for Subversive, when we saw that game, we were like already iffy that this draft doesn't really suit the strengths of Subversive. And we compare it to how they played Ascent so magnificently with all the utility they had. They gambled with the Reyna, and they just went completely bust on that all in.
I mean, we've seen how powerful SVR could be with those utility-reliant team compositions, and we were hoping to see more of that coming into the third map. But just a quick recap again, what happened in the first map. was pretty much almost the same story as what happened in the third map. But we were expecting the third game to be a bit closer than that, to say the least, because again, SVR had a very strong performance in their map pick Ascent in round number 2. But ArkAngel just showing up, you know?
It's just kind of disheartening to see there from the side of Subversive, because it really feels like when you have both CMS and Humi on the roster, and then you have the Sentinel flexibility of Foods, you can make any composition a possibility. Right. And then you watch them play double duelist on Haven, it's just like, it doesn't feel like this is the identity of Subversive, in all honesty. You compare your game number 2 to compare games 1 and 3, and you can really see where Subversive can shine when they can really outplay their opponents. And they tried to do it multiple times here on the Haven. Every single round, Subversive
they're trying to adjust time and time again. Yeah.
I still can remember the From the Shadows operator headshot. That is a round-winning play, but no, sir, ArkAngel, they hold in Cubby, and they're like, oh, we got this. And that they did. Just 13-0, man. What
Josh S, he can't deny that the power of Raze's kit, right? The way he used it to its maximum efficacy right there, it's just incredible.
Bro, I gotta say Subversive will have nightmares of that boombot, because it chased them everywhere on C side. It did not stop whatsoever. It was always in behind, and it felt like it was a Jaws theme music there. It's like it just crept closer and closer and closer, and boom, you just die. And you gotta give it to Subversive. They played their strengths really well when they actually played their strengths, but then you can see the difference there. That is just too clinical from ArkAngel. And what a debut here. First time under the ArkAngel banner, they take a championship in 1Tap episode 2. 13-0. But you gotta give your love to Subversive, guys, no matter what. We love them as a team. And in all honesty, we can see what works so well for them and what doesn't. And like I said, CMS, Humi, Foods on one roster. Give us a Palais next time. Give us a complete masterpiece of an artwork, because you don't need to play the same style everyone does with who you have on your roster.
I mean, again, it's been a long road for all of our teams that entered 1Tap here. You know, Chimera taking 3rd place. We got SVR taking 2nd place, and of course, ArkAngel being the champions. You know, despite having a rough final game such as that, you know, you can't discount all their incredible performances coming into, you know, leading into this final series.
That's ridiculous, man. Legit, I cannot believe that we saw 13-0 there from ArkAngel. But hey, you already know that this org has been looking into the scene, and they picked the right roster for it. TMT no more. ArkAngel looking to soar the skies, and that they did. It's been a great run for TMT, man. They for the first team to ever beat Pren and eliminate them basically from the tournaments. They've won championships here and there in weeklies and normal tournaments, some runner spots, and they will always have been a contender. And being under ArkAngel right now is the best way to go. Gotta give love again to Subversive. Still not done, and I'd love to see more between CMS, Humi, Foods, Foon, as well as Young Pork. Like, this roster has a lot of potential, but I think they just need to make their minds matter even more. Like, they already know that they can be innovative. Maybe even some outside help can help them craft some compositions per map. Because if you look at the Ascent, it's so inspired. You look at Haven, it feels a bit dull. And that's where Subversive has to really shine. When they get a very, very colorful kind of lineup, that is the best Subversive gameplay that I can really see. And in the end, I hope to see more of those kinds of come from them. But hey, in the end, as well, ArkAngel is a champion. So there you go, guys. Worth the wait. I gotta say, it still was. That's number 2.
Incredible series. And you know, despite this being delayed, you know, 4 days in the making, you know, 1Tap is, you know, true to its namesake, supposed to be a one day event, a one night affair. And unfortunately, you know, due to circumstances, again, our thoughts and prayers go out to those affected by Typhoon Ulysses in recent days. But, you know, alas, we're here. Finally, we were able to witness SVR versus ArkAngel.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And we hope that you are all safe. And we hope you guys enjoyed your night. A late night here for 1Tap episode 2. But it really goes to show that the support of the community is something we really want to watch out for. And we gotta thank everyone who tuned on in, especially who supported our teams. ArkAngel and Subversive giving their all. Going to map number 3 is still no small feat. And we gotta give our love. We gotta give our congratulations to both teams. But the bigger one there to ArkAngel. They are our champions for 1Tap episode 2, and they will make their mark in history for Valorant PH. Gotta say though, that was a great tournament, Mr. Vim. And any closing thoughts before we wrap up our nights?
Just goes to show that if you're active in our Discord, you gotta say, there are some certain perks if you're active in the Valorant PH community, and that includes being notified of when the next 1Tap goes live. 1Tap episode 3, perhaps in the works. Yeah, all you have to do is be active in our local community, and that's where you get to meet these amazing players like SVR, like players from ArkAngel and your favorite teams. Pretty much it's one happy community, and it's great to be a part of.
I don't know how many are 15K plus strong, and we really appreciate you guys hopping on in. We have events every single week with the Val Rising program. We have pugs as well, and we have the 1Tap tournaments, and of course, big ones when we can host them. So if you do need a tournament hub as well as a place to be, check out discord.gg/ValorantPH. We got to give thanks to our sponsors as well, Manila Esports Club. They've been such a good supporter of Valorant PH from the get-go, and I got to give my heart personally as well to the people behind MEC. Thank you for giving even 1Tap the chance itself. We were just like, so this is our pitch. Random tournament on this. They're like, yes!
Literally an elevator pitch, and that's all we got.
And that's that's really the trust there from not only the sponsors but the community, and we gotta give our props and we gotta give our thanks for that one. But it is gonna be getting late here. Sunday night's gonna be a great night to fight, and we saw ArkAngel take the championship there. First place for ArkAngel, second place for Subversive, and third place for Kamira to wrap up our 20K prize pool. It's been fun. It's been great. And I've been Daks.
And I've been Vyminal.
And we'll see you guys in the next Valorant PH tourney. Have a good night and stay safe in these trying times.